Because I got a YouTube channel. That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the corner of the building with the tower. That's one of the old surviving buildings.
Ah.
And you can see a new building from the 2010s
Yeah.
right here. This is another one building that would have survived the bombing. So
very few survived. Yeah.
very few survived in this area. So and really you'll notice that Berlin is a bit of an architectural mixture. And you know, following the Second World War, the city was divided, and so there was kind of like two ideologies in place: a socialist,
the east,
side, and then the west side was more capitalist. So, and this part of the city was actually very close to the Berlin Wall, and so it was developed much later. It was redeveloped in the 1990s. So a lot of the newer buildings and stuff are just since the Berlin Wall fell in 1989.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's
head south.
Yeah, I just came from Oldenburg. Oldenburg was not bombed, so it's well preserved. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the neighboring Oldenburg. Not Holstein, the other one, close to the Amsterdam. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Because there's two of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So were you up in Amsterdam?
Yeah, Amsterdam, then Oldenburg, and then this. This is my third city. I'm gonna be visiting 9 in all, so 7 countries, you know, in 34 days. Yeah, it's gonna be a new record for me.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Everything is hectic, so that's why I'm filming it and archiving everything on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you have to give me your YouTube channel.
It's not, I'm still an amateur, so I only have 100. I think 108 right now, so still a newbie.
Yeah. Now you can start to see like these are built during the communist era.
Oh yeah, are we going to that the so-called Hitler bunker?
Yeah.
That it's now a parking lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we go see that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go see that. But
Yeah.
right now we're gonna head down to Checkpoint Charlie.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
So we're going to head down to Checkpoint Charlie.
Okay.
Talk a little bit about how the city was divided.
Right.
And then we'll walk towards the area where Hitler had his center of power. And we'll stop by the
where he committed suicide supposedly.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm saying supposedly, but even if he were in South America, he would be old and probably dead already.
Yeah, I mean they don't believe that he escaped. However, it's very possible that they never found his real remains.
Besides, he would be an old man already. So.
Yeah, he'd be an old man, but you know, if Hitler had escaped, then he would have taken some of the people who worked for him.
Right. He had an entourage, obviously.
Yeah, he had a huge staff, and you know, all of the staff was left behind, and also, you know, Goebbels.
Oh yeah.
Joseph Goebbels murdered his family. And
not a good sign. Yeah. Oh, he got a
and so if Hitler was escaping, Goebbels certainly would have gone with him.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Yeah. And obviously there's the tank battles here.
Yes, there was the tank battle.
Yeah, with the Soviets and.
Yep.
Well, it wasn't Soviets back then.
Yeah,
just Russia.
It was.
It was already.
Yeah, it was already Soviet. So Soviet just means a union. So
it
It was. Well, at that time, it was considered the Red Army because it was Russia. There was also Ukrainians fighting.
Oh, okay.
There were Romanians that had joined the fight, and Bulgarians, and
Yeah.
But you can really down here we'll start talking a little bit about the divide of the city.
Yeah, I had a walking tour in Amsterdam. She was from Colorado. So.
Oh, okay.
It's funny. There's a lot of Americans here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice place to live.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it safe though?
Yeah, very safe.
Okay.
Probably more safe than Los Angeles, I'd imagine.
I got robbed in Paris, so.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's too bad.
Just kind of avoid that area.
I mean, that kind of stuff does happen.
It's in the Eiffel Tower too.
When was that? Before you came here? Or?
Yeah, 2014.
Oh,
In daylight. Well, it's 6 a.m. actually.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, we got
6 a.m.?
Yeah, it was kind of dark, semi. And me and my brother, a guy pretending to get lost with a map, obviously. And they got this fake police. We're inspecting counterfeit money. And they did some kind of like a chokehold, martial arts chokehold, which I think only the police would know how to do. So I suspect they were like corrupt police there.
Oh, and they chokehold you?
Yeah, well, me and my brother, and they knew where my money was on my neck, because 10 minutes before that we came from a restaurant, we had breakfast, and the waitress was looking, and she was on the phone. I saw her intense glare, so I suspect that she informed her friend or whatever. Hey, these guys, they hide their money on their neck, you know.
Oh, right.
So instead of going for the pockets, they grab my neck. So they had inside info. And my niece kind of like rescued us because they walked ahead of us.
Oh, yeah?
So she pointed at them, and she saw like at least 5 people. So these people have backup.
Oh.
So even if I was Bruce Lee, which I'm not, obviously.
Right.
Okay, oh, watch out. Watch it. Amsterdam, you get run over by bicycle. And yeah, it's not worth it, you know.
No.
I mean, it's money versus your life. I pick my life, you know.
So where are you staying? Are you staying at the
No, I'm not rich. I'm on the hostel.
Oh, okay.
I had to walk like 5 minutes to here.
Oh.
It's close, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking we might take a loop and then finish up back
Yeah.
close to here.
Yeah, the Hilton is fine. I can walk back.
But I could also take you back, towards your place. Whatever.
Yeah, it's not a big problem. It's just a block away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's why the other guy, well, I forgot his name, said, oh, well, let's meet here. Which was like half an hour. What the heck, man? Hilton is closed already. You're making it harder, yeah?
Oh, okay.
So I replied back, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So we're almost here at Checkpoint Charlie.
Yeah, I can tell.
It's just to the left. Have you been here before? Or?
Yeah, my first night, you know.
Oh, okay.
This is my 3rd day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. First night being like almost half a day, so yeah.
Well, I mean, if there's anything, if I'm telling you something that you already
No,
know,
yeah, yeah, we can breeze through Checkpoint Charlie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's do something else then.
Yeah.
Let's go across the street and let's take a look at a road that survived the bombing raids.
Yes. And
So you can get an idea of what Berlin would have
Right.
looked like back in the day.
okay.
And then we'll walk down to the checkpoint and talk a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
So there was about 320 bombing raids
Yep.
during World War II. Beginning in 1941 with
Yeah.
well, actually the first bombing raid was in 1940.
Uh-huh.
And then the RAF will have a number of really big raids in 1943.
They did daytime and US did nighttime.
No, other way around.
Oh, the other, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then,
crap.
it's not until much later in the war where they can really start to attack Berlin because they've taken part of France and have the forward air bases. So most of the area that we were walking in was destroyed in February and April of 1945.
Yeah. So mostly new buildings. Yeah.
You can see this here.
Yeah.
This is actually a whole row of buildings that survived the bombings. There's one that has been re-stylized, but
Okay.
This gives you an idea of what the streets used to look like. So
Yeah.
it was more of a uniform style, kind of a classical style.
Yeah. House to house, street to street fighting. Yeah.
Oh yes. Well,
Yeah.
during the battle, there was like
Yeah.
house to house street fighting and a lot of fighting. Like
Even kids, huh?
with,
Yeah.
kids were fighting.
With Panzerfaust, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly.
The
Panzerfaust.
RPG. The
Right.
first RPG, yeah.
But if you see this here,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I've seen. Oh, that metal structure.
yeah.
I was wondering what that was, yeah.
So here, I'll show you.
Yeah.
Let's see. So here's that's the church that used to stand
Used to, yeah, no.
there. And
It's gone, kaput now.
Yeah, it was destroyed in 1943.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was in ruins, and then they built the memorial of the of the old church there. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so it's the outline of the
Yeah, it is the outline. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
yeah.
And what's that thing at the bottom? The Gumby one? Yeah.
This thing, the ball.
Yeah,
It's a sculpture that was added around 2006.
Yeah.
And I think it has something to do with the World Cup, but I'm not exactly sure about.
yeah. The Germans are into art. Weird art. Yeah. And they have that strange letter B, like double S, right? Z. Yeah.
So, but yeah, so following World War II,
Yeah.
Germany,
Yeah. I see. Divided, obviously.
divided into 4 zones,
Oh.
and
I forgot about the British and the French. Yeah.
so you had the British zone. This is like Hamburg in this area.
Yeah.
This is the Saarland. This would be like down by Munich and Stuttgart and Karlsruhe, and then here is the Soviet zone, and Berlin was also divided, but it was
Oh yeah.
it was far inside of the Soviet zone.
What?
And so when they built the Berlin Wall, they built the wall around the western free part of the city. So actually, the western free part was in the was inside the wall.
What? That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah. But because Berlin sat so far in the east zone. In 1952, they had managed to create a border between the two regions. Here, we'll go this way.
Oh, let's go. Yeah.
But that left Berlin,
Of course.
with this occupied region.
Right.
And so when people begin to, or when someone wants to leave East Germany, they simply will travel to West Berlin, and there are treaties that have been drawn, and you are allowed to travel on one highway out of the city, or you can get on a plane or a bus.
Before the wall, yeah.
Before the wall,
Obviously.
Yeah. And
Otherwise, they'd have to use a balloon, which was happened in real life.
it did happen. Yeah. They did have.
That was a movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was one of the last casualties of the wall.
Yeah.
Was the guy in the balloon?
Yeah, he was able to escape though. Yeah. Oh, could have been another balloon. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of the last guys to die, his balloon crashed and he fell to the ground.
Oh yeah, they didn't make a movie about that. Obviously.
Yeah.
It's
But so here was where this was the checkpoint between the American sector on this side.
Oh yeah.
And then the Soviet sector on this side.
Okay. And Brandenburg Gate was on which side?
It was in the east.
Oh.
So we'll head up there too.
Yeah. I know it's close. Yeah. Reichstag. Yeah.
But this here, you can see this.
Oh. Yeah, the demarcation here.
Yeah. So this was where the wall was.
Which is west, which is east?
So you're standing in the west, and this would have been the east.
Holy crap, okay.
Yeah. And this would have been a much different area at that time. It looked more like a large toll plaza.
So Checkpoint Charlie was to check them, yeah.
Yeah, so the name Charlie comes from the Americans. The Americans had a Checkpoint Alpha,
right.
which was on the road between East and West Germany. And then they had Checkpoint Bravo, which was when they got to the city. Then they had Checkpoint Charlie. So essentially it was A, B, and C.
But they made this into a landmark, yeah.
Yeah, well, this became a landmark because of the incident of October 28th, 1961. You see that picture over across
Yeah,
the way?
I've been reading that. Yeah.
You can see the tanks there.
Yeah, right. They show you the history.
Yeah, well, come here.
Let's go. Come over here.
I'll tell you real quick what happened and why Checkpoint Charlie became famous rather than somewhere else.
Yeah, I was gonna take the hop on hop off tomorrow. Now I know where to take it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So the wall basically goes up in 1961, kind of overnight. They surround West Berlin with soldiers, and they begin to immediately build the wall. But a lot of barbed wire is used, and you can see here that really at that point in time, this checkpoint was just a
zigzagging. Yeah.
It was just a kind of a makeshift barrier. So the American troops refused to stop for the East German guards.
Yeah, that's a Pershing tank.
Yeah.
Fairly new at the time.
Yeah. And so after this is going on for a period of 2 months, finally, the Soviet army comes in. They line their tanks down the road in this direction.
Yeah, I see. There's a Soviets here.
Oh, well, that's Ulbricht. That's actually East German there.
Yeah, they're carrying Soviet weaponry. Yeah.
But yeah, the Americans were going in this direction.
Yeah.
And it became a very tense situation for about 16 hours. But Kennedy and Brezhnev will connect with a landline between Moscow and Washington. They'll work out a deal. Kennedy will make his speech that a wall is better than a war.
Yeah, he said it in German, right?
Yeah. And so basically it helps to end what was a crisis at the time. There were thousands of people leaving the east, and they were going to the west, and there were some of these holding areas for the refugees were getting we're getting too full. But here, come down this way for a second.
Yeah.
But here you can see our.
Whoa.
That's Kennedy and Khrushchev.
Yeah, that's the famous speech. Yes. Yeah. Oh, Hungary. Yeah. Soviets like to occupy territory.
Yep. So like when Hungary opens its borders in 1989. People in East Germany, they are allowed to travel there.
Yeah. Oh.
So they begin to use they begin to use Hungary as a place to escape.
Okay, let's go here. Charlie's. Oh, I haven't been to this one. Aerial map. Yeah.
The red line represents where the wall was.
This must be where the B-17's altitude, yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhat, yeah.
But so you are staying here.
Right, that's where we are, yeah.
So you're just inside what was kind of the bulge of the government quarter. So you can see how when the Soviets took over, when they began to negotiate occupation territories, the Soviets kind of pushed out and negotiated to seize what was the government quarter. Right. So the government quarter was where the power center for the Nazi regime was, and essentially this whole area will just become kind of a wasteland.
Okay, so when did NATO form?
NATO.
Yeah, that's.
I'm not exactly sure, to be honest.
Yeah,
with you. I would say
probably after. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the USSR and the Cold War and all that.
Yeah. So I mean, immediately following World War II, you begin to have you start to have the Cold War.
And now NATO's expanding, and then and then he invaded Ukraine because he wanted to have like a buffer or something like that. Yeah, he didn't want missiles there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's at least that's what he's saying, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, imagine if America was, remember the Cuban Missile Crisis?
Yeah.
That was so close to America, so
right.
You know what happened.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying it's similar, but
Right.
it's all about territory. Yeah.
Yeah, territory.
I'm not justifying anything.
Economics.
Yeah. War is war. War is bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So,
Yeah.
Let's go down here. So, you know, you had
Yeah.
this was how it would have looked back, back in those days, and so really
Yeah.
just the little checkpoint on the other side was
Right.
just more to keep the guards warm. They didn't really check the cars or and you know, they just kind of waved you past. And really, all of the security was in the east. So you would have entered kind of a maze-like structure here, and then the guards would have come out to the car and would have.
I can imagine this photo was taken from a low-flying plane.
Yeah.
Or a tall building, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been.
Well, I don't see any tall buildings here, so.
Yeah, and actually these are new. The building with the scaffolding around it.
Yeah.
That's this one here.
Maybe some kind of photo reconnaissance plane. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, these days, I guess it would be a drone, right? So.
Well, not during those days. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go down this way.
Black and white. Yeah. Well, now that you mention a drone, I got this pocket drone that's the size of a camera, and it actually has AI. It follows you based on your face, you know.
What's that? Hey.
Yeah, well, it's not DJI, you know, DJI. DJI is the more expensive. This is a cheaper one. Yeah.
What's the DJI? I'm not heard.
Oh, you know anything about drones. DJI is the popular one.
Okay.
Yeah, let's wait to cross. Oh, we got the Prius here. It's the station wagon. They have different models. Yeah. Okay. I didn't go here. Yeah.
This is the. It's actually a picture inside.
Okay.
You can see a little example of it.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
It's just a recreation of what this area looked like when the wall was up.
So how long have you lived here?
9 years.
Wow. So is German is fluent or kind of?
Not fluent, but I mean it's better than it was. But no, it's pretty difficult. It's hard for me.
Is it true that it's almost like English? Because in YouTube they said a lot of English words are like German and the other way.
Well, the structure, the grammar is completely different, you know. So I would say that's the hardest part. There are some words that are similar.
Yeah.
However, you know how you construct your sentences. It's really all kind of mixed around. Like for example, the verb goes on the end. Like you know. But let's.
Let's go. Yeah. I actually don't feel tired because if I'm walking with someone, it's like when I was in the army. When you're marching with a company.
Yeah.
You don't. I've been marching all day. I don't feel tired at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were in the army?
3 months only. I got kicked out. So it's.
Yeah. So you
discharged.
You can see here how.
Yeah.
How different it was.
Oh yeah, I see that the blue.
And now you've got all
the development, obviously.
Yeah, all the development. So back when the wall was here, this right behind us was just open.
Right.
And some of these houses were used by artists to stay in without having to really pay a lot of rent because they were kind of in an undesirable spot in the city.
Yeah, somehow I ignored this part. There's so many murals here. Well, photographs actually.
Yeah, but this is just down the way here. We're gonna head down there, and a part of the wall still stands there.
Yeah. What does Mauer mean? What does that mean?
Wall.
Oh, wall.
Yeah.
And we'll get to see the wall, part of it, right?
Yeah. Just down here.
Okay.
Yeah. But when they built the wall, you know how it bulges into the city. Some of the trains started in the west, and then they went under the east. And so that's what this is here. This shows you they were called ghost stations because you weren't actually allowed to go down and use the trains.
I can see the name Potsdam Platz.
Yeah, and the trains would just roll right through.
Yeah, right.
And And so they earned the nickname Ghost Station because like when you would go through, the lights were low. You might see a guard, but there would be no people on the turnstiles. No one sitting there.
Yeah, I was surprised you mentioned the SEALs. Did you mean the Navy SEALs or the German?
The Navy SEAls. Yeah.
Were you? I know you're not supposed to say it, but were you there?
No.
I mean, yeah.
No.
When you were young, obviously.
I was not in the Navy SEAls.
Okay.
I was never in the military.
Yeah.
Where were what military branch were you in?
Missouri, Fort Leonard Wood. It's my MOS was combat engineer.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
Where you get airdropped. Well.
But it didn't work out so well.
No, it's. I never exercised in my life, so my running was my weakest point. Push-ups, sit-ups was no problem.
Yeah.
My best 2 mile run was 18 minutes. I was supposed to pass 16 minutes, but I could barely make it.
Oh, okay.
So I was. So my drill sergeant said, "My grandma could run faster than you." You know how that goes, yeah.
But here,
this. Oh yeah.
This shows you.
Stadt Berlin.
This shows you what it looks like in this direction, going this way.
Uh-huh.
So the wall was just right here, where you can see the two cobblestones. So now, like all the way around the city, it's marked with the cobblestones.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And then this is in the other direction.
Yeah, you showed me earlier. There was cobblestones there.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the famous Trabant. There's a Trabant on one of the
Yeah.
walls. Yeah.
Just up here.
Yeah.
The Trabant was a.
I work in IT, and this guy work in Germany. He said, "Oh, to Trabant, I drove it, but you always need to bring duct tape with you to fix things, you know."
Right. Yeah, it was.
It was challenging, you
It
know.
was challenging, but at the same time, I guess it was fairly easy to work on.
Yeah, it's a practical car.
Yeah.
No frills, you know, obviously.
Nowadays, you can't work on your own car, right?
Yeah, that's the advantage of having a simple car,
Yeah.
like the Volkswagen, the Beetle. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh, I see one already. A Trabant there.
Yeah, so this over here.
Oh, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, it's called Trabi World.
Oh, and then you can probably have a ride of some sort.
Yeah, you can rent one.
Yeah.
Drive around the city.
I don't know. Is it safe? Oh, they even have a converted one. Look at that.
Yeah.
There's like 6 wheels. Seriously?
There's some functioning limousines that you see driving around town,
With a really small engine.
and they're really big. But that was the
Yeah. Oh, that's why. You see the balloon? I saw that from a distance. Yeah.
yeah.
What is WELT? Belt, right?
It means world.
Ah, world.
Yeah, the world.
Yeah, they're advertising that. I didn't know it was on the Trabi World, the Trabant place.
Yeah.
I wonder how many horsepower was the original Trabant?
Well, it was a 2-stroke engine.
Yeah.
A small engine, so I'm not exactly sure the horsepower, but the top speed was something like 50 miles an hour.
That's if it's really pushing it. Huh?
Yeah. They had a lot of like jokes about the Trabant, like
Yeah.
why does the Trabant have 4 seats?
Uh-huh.
So the 3 people can get out and push. Why do they have?
Yeah, it's even worse than the Beetle. The Beetle at least was practical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Beetle was developed by Adolf Hitler.
Yeah,
So-
people's car. Yeah.
So the Eastern.
Even the Autobahn, right? Wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the Autobahn too. So the Eastern authorities wanted to develop their own, inexpensive car. And not-
Competition again. Yeah.
yeah. But here, you can see them driving right there.
Holy crap! That's a parade of them.
Yeah. And so they're going out.
They're not breaking down or anything.
Yeah, they're going out, but look at the one in the back, how much pollution's coming out.
And obviously they're driving very slow. You know.
Yeah. So yeah, they're gonna drive around the city here.
Yeah. I don't know. No air conditioning. Plus you can die in it.
Yes.
It's not worth it.
So this here is the Wilhelmstrasse.
Ah.
And this was the government quarter beginning with the German Empire in the 1870s.
Uh-huh.
And then during the Second World War, the big building, just before the Second World War, the big building you see here was built as the Air Ministry.
Right, right.
So this was Hermann Goering's headquarters.
Uh-huh.
It's a massive stone structure that the bombardiers actually used this building to navigate, to know that they were over the government quarter. And so it didn't get as heavily damaged as some of the other buildings in the area. So after the war, the Soviets use it as their occupation headquarters. And then in 1949, it will become the Ministry of Ministries during the German Democratic Republic. And
it's funny that their name is Democratic. Yeah.
right, but they're really more of a
It's an irony, the name.
yeah.
Just like North Korea is, the name is ironic as well. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Across the street here,
Yeah. Yeah.
this side, you had what was
I was supposed to see this. Yeah.
this was the Gestapo headquarters.
Alright. Right.
So
They're secret police.
the secret police, you got it. Yeah. So this is the building. This building used to stand on the corner. And you can see that little like rain awning there.
Right.
The remains of the building are down below.
Okay.
And if you start on one end and walk through, it kind of gives you the overall history of the rise of Hitler.
Right.
But this was where the Gestapo would interrogate people. There was a prison that was used.
Yeah.
And after the war, it was completely razed to the ground. This whole area, all of the buildings that were associated with the security apparatus of the regime.
Right.
Okay,
Here we go. Topography of terror.
and we're on the division between, this is Kreuzberg,
Okay.
and Mitte starts there. And Mitte was the Soviet zone. And so with the wall, when the wall was built, the DDR ministry building was very, very close to the border.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1965, a man escaped with his family by coordinating with a family member. Another family member who lived in the West drove a truck into this area, which at the time was just a vacant lot. And in the truck he brought with him a long steel cable.
Oh.
And the minister who works in the building for the day and will have his family come join him, and then they'll make their way to the rooftop. And he brings with him a rope that is tied to a hammer. And he throws the hammer off the rooftop there, over the wall, holds onto the rope side, and then they tie the steel cable to the rope. He pulls back up, attaches it somewhere, and then on the back of the truck, they attach the other end of the cable and pull the truck across the area here, and they made a zip line.
Right there.
And then they got on like a pulley, and they zip lined out of East Germany. But one thing that makes the story especially interesting is that there were guard towers. There was a guard tower there.
Yeah.
There was another guard tower on just down on the other end of the building there. And the guards thought that they were working on a official spy mission. And so they just watched them. They just watched them do it.
That's stupid.
Yeah, they were pretty stupid.
Yeah.
But would you like to take a walk along and see some?
Yeah.
Some
I'll
of
do
the-
it quickly. Yeah. Yeah, I can see part of the wall here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go to the wall, because then.
Yeah. See.
But also you could come back.
Yeah. I can. I'm actually gonna come back here.
Okay, so we'll just
like
let's go up the road into like the government quarter. I'll show you the bunker and.
Oh, that's important. Really important. Yeah.
So here's the original wall.
Oh, yeah.
And they haven't moved it since the 90s. It's the same as it was. But this version of the wall was built between 75 and 85.
I see the rebars. It's not that easy to tunnel through. Yeah.
It's not easy. No.
Yeah.
But these were these square sections, or these rectangular sections that they just went along the entire wall between 1975 and 1985, and they just put these sections down. So you'll see these little L-shaped sections around the city, or even in some other cities around the world. They have versions of the wall. These sections have been.
You know, it's funny. If their system was working, why build a wall, huh?
Right. Well, that's exactly it. I mean, they said that it was the anti-fascist protection barrier.
Of course. Yeah. Who would want to escape to the east? Huh?
Right. Didn't happen often.
There were people who went to the east.
There was, yeah. There was one case down the way here. There was an area that belonged to the GDR. But they decided not to build a wall around it, so it was accessible from the west. But like Western police had no authority there, and so it becomes a bit of a haven for criminals.
Right.
And in 1986, when the West Germans finally are able to buy the land off of the east, they go in to clean out the this encampment.
Right.
And the people ran the other direction and jumped over the wall and went the other way into the east.
Okay. I see a currywurst stand there.
Yeah, over there. Yeah.
Even though, to be honest, it has nothing to do with curry. It's just paprika. It's funny they call it curry, you know.
Yeah. Well, I guess that all came about during the Berlin airlift.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So the Berlin airlift was in 1948 when they introduced the Marshall Plan. The two sides will essentially disagree on the introduction of a Deutschmark and a new currency to be used. And so the Soviets kind of used that as an excuse to close up to close off the road access and also to close off the train access. And so in order to supply West Berlin, the Western Allies had to fly supplies in for the course of an entire year.
Right.
And that will convince the Soviets that the Allies are not going to just abandon Berlin. But they certainly had hoped that the Allies would abandon Berlin and wouldn't put that effort towards it. But then they could have,
So currently, right now, what is this building?
This building. So this is the Ministry of Aviation. This is the building. It was built during Hitler's time.
Luftwaffe.
Between 1935 and 37. And it was the headquarters of Hermann Goering.
Right. But
Hermann Goering was the Luftwaffe leader.
I meant today.
Oh, today? It's the Ministry of Finance.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was wondering why so many security cameras. Although those are old cameras, obviously. They're not the newer ones.
Oh, no?
They're a bit antiquated. Yeah, I know about cameras.
Well, yeah, so now this is the Ministry of Finance for the German government. But architecturally, it really gives us sort of what Hitler's vision for
Right. The
architecture was. And here.
Oh, okay. Oh. I got the.
I'm just gonna sneak in the shade because it's hard to see.
Yeah.
It's hard to see the pictures in the sun.
Especially with my sunglasses. Pick up my sunglasses.
Let me see. So, that's
Right.
that's Hermann Goering,
The fat guy, obviously.
the fat guy. So he would be standing kind of right out there in the front.
Yeah, he never lost weight.
But hold on. Oh, so this is cool to see here. Here, I'll put it in the shade here.
Yeah.
You can see this is the other side of the road.
Right.
So, all that got lost in the bombings. But yeah, this is the Wilhelminian style architecture that was prominent throughout this whole area. So imagine that one road that we saw. That would have been really all over the place.
Right.
But this is also a photo. That's of the boulevard just following.
The panther. Yeah.
I think that's a tiger.
Ah, no, it's a panther. It's a it's 75 millimeter. The
Okay.
tiger's the 88 millimeter. Because
Right.
you see the sloping armor. That's a panther. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the medium tank. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they copied the T-34.
Right.
You know, the Soviet sloping armor,
Yeah.
and they tried to improve on it, obviously.
Right.
But you know, Germans are too over-engineered. You know, they tend to break down. You know,
Yeah.
they're not. You know, they're not like the Russians who make cheap quality but mass production. You know.
Right.
Yeah. Like the AK. You know, so robust. You know, you can put them underwater, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So the what was the T-34 was the armor.
Yeah, the Russian.
Yeah.
The Germans were surprised to see they call them subhumans
Yeah.
have such technology.
Right.
They expected a quick victory in Russia.
Yeah.
They were just surprised, you know.
Right.
And obviously they were overconfident. And opening that stupid front, you know,
Yeah.
that was his mistake. Good thing he did that. You know, if not, he didn't do that, he would have probably won the war.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just glad Hitler's not smart as a tactician. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for a small country to do all that damage, you know,
Yeah.
way too much.
Way too much. But here's a picture of.
Yeah.
This is a picture
There
of
you go.
Goering.
Oh yeah, that's it. With the puffy face. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But this was also this building was used by the GDR government, the East government.
Right. Yeah.
And
Russians. Yeah.
and this is also where they broadcast the infamous news conference where Gunter Schabowski announces that the wall is going to be open
Oh no.
in 1989.
No. Yeah.
And he didn't announce any of the specific plans as far as how to get through the wall. So people just showed up at the wall and began.
They had no idea.
And they
If they had known, they would have escaped right away. Yeah.
Well, they end up showing up to the wall and saying, "Can we get through?" You know, we heard on live television, and so by about midnight, you know, with tens of thousands of people gathered, they one of the guards on Bornholmerstrasse finally decides to open the gate.
Oh.
So that's it was in this building where that meeting was taking place on live television.
Right.
Here, let's go around the other.
Yeah. Yeah, we've actually walked quite a bit, yeah. And I don't feel tired, you know. I mean, if I did it on my own, I would, because it's all mental, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so this is a socialist mural,
Uh-oh, yeah.
1952.
Useful propaganda, yeah.
Yeah, useful propaganda.
Yeah. You see, we saw how that worked out.
Yeah. But they, you know, it depicts very happy people, happy.
Not
happily-
affluent though.
Not affluent, no. But the socialist realism, you know, focuses on the workers, focuses on like away from the leaders. So you don't see like Walter Ulbricht and them. They try to focus the art to inspire the people.
A lot of young people in America think socialism is the solution. Well, you'll be surprised how ignorant they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess there has to be some kind of some kind of a give and take, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no safety net in America. That's the problem.
They haven't seen Cuba, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really, like the countries that we call communist or socialist. Those countries really never made it to communism. They really just became, totalitarian states.
I think some of them use Sweden as a model, but Sweden is not really that. It's a mixture,
Yeah. Exactly.
My sister lived in Sweden,
So here you can see the old relief.
Oh, yeah.
So these are the column of marching.
The workers and all that bullshit.
No, these are soldiers. Here.
Oh, soldiers, See them.
So these
the
are
Nazi.
These are the Nazi soldiers. So it was a very militaristic kind of style on that side, and then that was replaced. But you can see the tanks and the chaos here, and that's 1953.
Oh crap!
So this is following the war. And there has been a period of time where the Marshall Plan has begun to show some results in the West.
Let me see that.
And so there was a protest here because they were protesting a raise in the number of hours that the workers had to work, but there was no raise in pay. And so the workers walked off the job. They began a march that led to here, where this was where the Ministry of Labor was. So in order to voice their concerns, they came here. Also, these protests spread throughout the country. The American Armed Services Radio was broadcasting from West Berlin, which is situated far inside East Germany.
AFRTS,
Yeah, and so those radio waves, they went out over all of the country, and so over the course of the next 4 days, there was uprisings or demonstrations in about 500 different East German towns, and then that was met with force. They called
obviously.
Here's the Soviet tanks coming in the road right in front of us here,
also happened in Hungary.
Hungary would come along a bit later. What, 1956 or 58?
I mean, the similar Soviet tactics.
And there was a mass crackdown, and somewhere around 500 people across the country were killed. Thousands were arrested. And it really, it kind of is a turning point which leads people to start leaving the country. And that will lead to 1961 and the building of the wall. So in the 8 years between 53 and 61, there's approximately 1,000 people per day leaving the country.
That's why they built it.
That's why they built the wall, because that...
To stop it,
Yeah, to stop all of their... and most
there's going to be nobody left.
There's going to be nobody left. And, well... I guess most of the people leaving were like professionals, people that were going and seeking to get involved in businesses and firms and things in the West. So they did refer to it as like the brain drain. However, they used the excuse that they were trying. There had been a lot of ex-Nazis installed in the Western German government, and the East seized upon that as propaganda to say that the West was, becoming another fascist state, which was really not the case. But,
sounds familiar,
Yeah. Let's head. But this is the
denazification of Ukraine, the so-called,
But this is a picture
and
also a memorial, but the picture depicts the marchers from that day.
What does that mean? Mit Geld und...
With money and understanding.
Okay. Verstand,
With money, verstanden.
Yeah, the V is a letter F,
But this wasn't built until 2001 or something, because in the East they wanted to try to brush this under the rug, But in the West, they kept the spirit alive by renaming the road that led directly to the Brandenburg Gate, 17 June.
This is place of people.
The place of protest.
Oh, people
From 1953.
Right.
Place from a people's protest.
Yeah, folk is people. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like in English, F-O-L-K. Folk. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Folk music. Yeah. Volkswagen. Yeah. People's car. Yeah. I was young. We had that small, tiny Beetle, which in the Philippines there was flooding, and my brother drove it into this hole, because they don't repair the road. So the Beetle actually floated,
Yeah.
It was that well built, It was like a boat, basically. Water would not penetrate. Yeah. Back then it was made in Germany, I think.
Volkswagen.
Well, when the one we bought, because it was imported.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Still wasn't assembled there locally.
Oh, when you bought? Oh, so you bought a Volkswagen in what year?
It's I forgot. I was still a small kid. Anyway, so it's not a lower quality because it's German made. So.
Yeah.
And I know in Hong Kong they even showed a Volkswagen with an outboard engine, crossing. I mean, like the reason it's a boat,
Yeah.
Yeah. And because the last 2 days there was a Berlin Marathon,
Right.
kind of destroyed my plans,
Oh, really?
Yeah, so only now am I able to really tour Berlin,
All right, because all the fences and stuff were up.
Yeah, they closed so many.
Yeah.
Even some of the U-Bahn, were closed.
Yeah.
So you can only go limited. So,
So this used to be.
and that H is a bus stop, yeah.
This used to be like a very wealthy part of the city.
Used to be, yeah.
Used to be.
Yeah.
In the 1850s, by the 1850s, Berlin had become a center of transport for the railways, and a lot of wealth begins to show up in the city, and wealthy industrialists will begin to build palaces and mansions down both sides of the road. And directly in front of us would have been a very large plaza. It was called the Wilhelmplatz, or the Wilhelm Plaza.
Wilhelm,
And you can see one of the surviving buildings from pre-war is just on the other side of the one here with the scaffolding. Let's go across the road.
yeah. Let's do that.
Oh, we just got a red.
Oh yeah, wait there.
Well, let's go over here into the street.
Yeah, here.
So,
I haven't seen a lot of homeless people here so far.
Not too many. Not
Yeah.
so many. There's a little bit more of a safety net over in
Los
in-
Angeles
in-
and
in
downtown LA, it's like almost
Yeah, it's like crazy.
everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah. But this is the picture
yeah.
of the old Platz,
Oh yeah,
and this
Place,
building,
yeah.
this building here, is the one just on the other side there.
Oh, okay. See,
It's the one with the
In the-
the more classical.
right.
looking one. So there was a Platz here, and then during Hitler's time they had cleared the Platz out.
Oh yeah.
And this is where they would have had their like a large military parade, June 6th or July 6th, 1940, following the victory over France. Here's a picture here of Hitler.
Oh yeah.
There's the building we just came from. So here he is coming up the road and going to the Chancellor.
Yeah, the swastika was stolen from a symbol. I forgot. Was it Buddhist or something? Anyway,
Yeah.
it wasn't really originally German.
No.
Because I see it in Japan. There was a Buddhist temple with the swastika.
Yeah. This was where the
Oh yeah, I see.
this building here was all along the road in this direction.
Right, right.
There was an entire city block long. It was next to the original chancellery here, and so it was called the New Reich Chancellery. But it went the entire length of the road. The Court of Honor was an area of two large doors that you could open up and go through the Court of Honor. And then essentially inside it was just it was a palace. It was a very long walk to get to Hitler's office, and once you were at Hitler's office, it was a very impressive door or hallway to his room. So it was really kind of meant to inspire awe and to impress. It was not built as
propaganda,
as a functional style. It was more of a palace than anything else. And let's go over here.
Let's go. Yeah.
Hitler had big plans to redesign the whole city. And careful of the step there. We'll go over here.
Yeah. I'm gonna get my 10,000 steps today, definitely.
Let's go right over.
Oh, I see another U-Bahn here. U-Bahn.
Yeah, so that's the Mohrenstrasse U-Bahn. So have a look at this photo. So in this photo, you can see the U-Bahn there.
Yes, that's original. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's what it used to look like on the other side of the street. We had the Borsig Palace was one of these palaces that was built in the 19th century, that was used or that was bought up by the government to form the government quarter. And then you had the new chancellery and the balcony where Hitler would greet the crowds. That was kind of right over on this side.
That's the Mall of Berlin, anyway.
That's the Mall of Berlin.
I've been there the other day. Yeah.
It was opened in 2015.
Yeah. So we're almost back to the hostel there.
Yeah.
To the Hilton, yeah.
Not too far.
Yeah, it's like
here, we'll come over here for a second.
everything is walking distance, yeah. That's what I noticed about Europe. Everything is walking, yeah.
So here you can see that from July 6, 1940.
A lot of people are raising their hand.
Yeah, a lot of people
My niece told me, don't raise your hand here.
Right.
That's it for verboten, yeah.
Go this way.
U-Bahn is Unterbahn, yeah.
Unterbahn,
Unter, under, yeah.
Unterstraßenbahn.
And the S-Bahn is the Surface. Oh, Surface?
Yeah.
Surface Bahn, yeah.
Yeah.
The tram, yeah, in Amsterdam tram, yeah.
You also have they have the tram in the east. The Straßenbahn trams.
See, I've only been here a few days, learning a few German words.
There you go.
Not enough, though. I know Scheiße.
Oh
Yeah, that's supposed to say that. Yeah. Oh, here we go, yeah. The symbol of walking is that short guy, yeah.
Yeah. So
Weird.
in the east, the Emperman.
Oh, was that the symbol?
Yeah. So that's supposed to be, or they say that it's a caricature of Erich Honecker, because Honecker was known to wear.
I wondered why that looked familiar. Yeah.
So Honecker was sort of said to wear this hat. So there's some that say it's a caricature, but I don't know if it was.
So now they just adopted
I don't know
that.
if it was intentional or not.
A short guy.
You can see the sculpture right here.
Yeah. I see.
You see, it's the profile of a man.
Oh, that's why. The side, yeah.
And that is.
Looks like a face, yeah.
It's the profile of Georg Elser, and Georg Elser tried to assassinate Hitler in 1939.
Yeah.
Hitler every year will go and make a speech at the Bürgerbrau Keller.
Yeah.
And the Bürgerbrau Keller was where he had tried to stage a political coup and take over the Bavarian government in 1923.
He was hard to kill for some reason, yeah.
He was hard to kill.
So many people have tried, yeah.
But he got a job working in the Bürgerbaukeller.
Yeah.
He also taught himself how to build a time bomb at his parents' apple orchard. And he hollowed out a pillar behind the lectern where Hitler was going to be speaking.
Camouflage it.
And
He still survived.
No, well, he left the building.
Oh, okay.
He left the building 13 minutes before the bomb went off. So
Well,
he jumped in he had to get on a plane and head back to Berlin, they say.
and Hitler wasn't there.
And Hitler was not there,
Yeah.
so he escaped. But yeah, there were many kind
Yeah.
of attempts on his.
Seems like he was, I don't know, protected by the devil for some reason.
Well, yeah, they kind of part of his whole thing was he felt like that he was chosen by divine providence to, his mission in life was to lead Germany into this, the 1,000-year empire.
Yeah, well, whatever that means. Then he committed suicide.
Then he committed suicide just over there.
He just.
But here's Joseph Goebbels.
Oh, the
He's a propaganda minister.
kiss ass guy. Yeah. He kind of looks like a guy who kisses ass a lot.
Yeah, well, he had the nickname as the poison dwarf.
That's the guy who gets promoted at work, the incompetent guy.
Yeah, right at the end, he was promoted to chancellor.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I work in IT, and a lot of people who are stupid and incompetent get promoted. Not the smart guys, So,
What do you do in IT?
I was on the mainframe, the old archaic,
Okay.
COBOL, GCL. Nobody wants to learn that. It's for older generation, and the young people on IT, they don't work on mainframe. They work on like server.
Yeah.
When you go to the web, that's all server based. Yeah.
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 That's what I've been studying is the web.
Oh, so you know program, yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm not familiar with that, yeah.
I've been working on programming.
Yeah.
I would like to maybe
Python,
well, I've been studying JavaScript, and
Yeah.
I should get back into studying Python as well.
That's what that's what some people say they recommended Python, yeah.
Yeah. But Goebbels was the man who passed out the radios.
Yeah.
And
Obviously they didn't have any internet back then.
no, they didn't have internet, but he really utilized the radio.
Yeah.
To great effect, and
Yeah.
lots of propaganda. The Germans didn't really know what to believe. And by the end of the war, it was just almost people would just turn off the radio. It was just, they couldn't believe a word anyone said.
Sounds like the media today, yeah.
They were being bombed into smithereens. The Russian army was advancing, and the radio was still talking about ultimate victory.
Reminds me of CNN, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. CNN or Fox.
Yeah, actually, yeah, they're both extreme, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to stay in the middle, yeah.
Yeah, try to stay in the middle is best.
Yeah, have some kind of independent thought,
Yeah.
Don't follow what someone tells you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But so here was where the original old chancellery was,
Right.
and that was
Yeah, I realized that mustache was in fashion back then. Remember
Yeah.
Charlie Chaplin and
Charlie Chaplin.
and then Oliver Hardy.
Yeah.
Is that Oliver? Yeah, Oliver Hardy.
It's not in fashion anymore.
No. After what he did, obviously.
Right. But yeah, so Otto von Bismarck, he's the uniter of Germany. The German Empire forms in 1871.
They named the ship after him. Okay.
And then they take this area, and this becomes the government quarter through the German Empire, and then into the Weimar Republic, and that's why we see this guy.
Oh,
here.
that period, yeah.
This was
With the
following World War One.
Yeah.
Yeah, following World War One, the Germany collapses. The king abdicates the throne. They go through a period of where
economic. Yeah.
economic hardship for sure. But then what this depicts is Philip Scheidemann announcing the Weimar Republic, trying to get it ahead of Karl Liebknecht's announcement.
Yeah.
And so Liebknecht is in the loose garden, and he is announcing the socialist country,
Which explains his rise, yeah.
and so he jumps up in the window, and you will have the Spartacist uprising. That will be a small clash between the Weimar Republic or Freikorps of the Weimar Republic, and then the communist supporters of what was known as the Spartacist League at that
Nationalist socialist.
time. No, National Socialists would have been during Hitler.
Oh, okay.
So the Spartacists were more communist than they were, and this is pre-National Socialism. So National Socialism comes around like 1924.
Okay.
But this is behind here is where the bunker was and where he committed suicide.
Oh, this is interesting. A parking lot, yeah. I was gonna Google Maps. It said I'll have to go there, but now we get to see it.
Yeah. Well, here I'll show you this. We'll get in the shade over here.
Yeah.
It's really hard to see the picture.
I'm glad I didn't wear warm clothing to go. I realized it's gonna get warm later. That's why I wore very.
I'm probably gonna have to take my shirt.
Yeah, it's getting warm. It's gonna be in the 70s later.
But that's a picture of. So here was where the old chancellery was, and so we just walked across the road, and now we're heading here, and this was where
You got some injury here.
this was where my dog pulled me off my bike.
Oh shit.
But you can see these little.
Yeah.
That's where the bunker
And
was.
at the time, the Soviets were the ones who was gonna catch him.
Yeah.
That's why I figured, I might as well commit suicide.
Right.
It wasn't the Americans. Americans, he could have surrendered, I guess.
Yeah. Well, he probably wouldn't have. I mean, he wanted to commit suicide. Like he constantly talked about like committing suicide.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why they really don't think he escaped.
Oh, okay. So much for that conspiracy. Yeah.
However, there's a lot of evidence to suggest that they actually never found the real remains there.
Yeah, some Nazis actually went to South America. That proved it,
Yeah, they developed what they called rat lines. And the
Yeah.
rat lines were the things that they would take.
And the Vatican actually helped them,
Yeah.
which is surprising.
Yeah.
Well, it's money.
Money, right?
Money.
But yeah, so now we're
Yeah.
in what would have been
Oh. This is the picture my brother showed me. Yeah.
the Ministerium Garden.
Right.
So all of the different ministries were along the road, and we're in this back garden area.
We're here, yeah.
Which would have been the Chancellery Garden,
Right.
and they had some barracks on the other side. These were for the SS troops that worked. Also, you had the Metropole where they parked the cars. It's from there that they bring the gasoline. So let's.
Here, there's a sign here.
Yeah, we'll go to the sign in just a minute, but you can see. So this is.
Oh, I see.
So we're probably standing right about here.
Some kind of gun turret, yeah.
Just right out in front of us, there was it was called the air shaft.
Yeah. Oh, airstrike. Okay.
And then this was the garden entrance area. And most of World War II, Hitler was not in Berlin. He was in the Wolf's Lair, which is in East.
Oh, that's
East Prussia.
yeah.
And that's where he was for most of the time. And it wasn't until January 1945 that the Soviet army begins to invade East Prussia. That drives the Nazi high command out of their bunkers there, and he will move here, move to the Chancellery. But there's also a lot of bombing raids. So so between January 1945 and April 1945, the Allies are flying as many bombing raids, as much pressure as they can put on the city as they can. And some of those raids are huge. February 3rd, 1945 is said to have more or less destroyed the government quarter, and a lot of the buildings along the Friedrichstrasse were hit. A lot of buildings caught on fire. So it was, so he was kind of in and out between like going on underground and then living in the chancellery when he could. But then by the time the battle begins, April 16th,
he got stuck here.
He'll pretty much move into the bunker full time.
Underground, yeah.
And the main force, the main German force that they build up in those months along the Oder River, which is about 75 kilometers from here, that main force consists of about 250,000 men. And the Soviets on the other side of the river in Poland, they are amassing their troops. They approximate about 1.5 million men. And then on April 16th, they start a huge barrage of missiles and begin their invasion. The first days don't go so well for them, and they lose a lot of troops, close to about 70,000 or so. And
it's urban warfare, so
yeah. And the General Zhukov is just kind of
the Russian, yeah.
At that point, though, the Zelo Heights was not urban yet. It was not urban warfare. It was really it was out in the river plain.
Open, yeah.
Yeah, it was wide open.
So that famous river in Berlin is Oder, huh?
No, that's the Spree.
Oh, Spree River. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Oder River is about 75 kilometers. So it's out here.
Okay.
And so this is where Poland is now.
Oh, separation, yeah.
Yeah, so the Oder River divides the two, and Berlin sitting far inside. So the first 3 days take place here, and then they just move in and they
The first and the second, yeah.
And they encircle the city.
And where's the Soviets on that side, I guess?
The Soviets were here. The Soviets would be the approaching army. So you have the first Ukrainian front and the first.
Oh yeah,
Belarusian
Belarusian, yeah.
So those are part of the Red Army.
Yeah. So,
And
so it's really no place to escape, yeah.
Well, they encircled the city. Yeah, he could have escaped on a plane, but he he announces that he's going to go down with the ship.
I remember he was offered that. Yeah.
So on April 29th, the situation becomes such that by April 26th, the Soviets are attacking, or on the 26th of April, they reach the Moltke Bridge, which will then begin the beginning of the last real big battle inside the city, and that's the battle for the Reichstag, and we'll go up there in a minute. And supposedly out here was where his remains were cremated.
Supposedly,
yeah. So out in front of us here, but But the sign shows you the layout of the bunker. The bunker was built in 2 phases. So
what's that? Mythos und
myth and history.
Oh, okay, got it.
I know Geschichte is history. Zeugnis would be like a historical tool.
Myth and history, huh?
Yeah. But you can see the wider.
That's another sign here. This way.
There were 2 bunkers. This one was built in 1935, and then the thicker, wider, bigger walls. That was built in 1942, and that's where Hitler will
survive. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where he will be towards the end of the war. And then following the war, the whole government quarter was pretty much taken out. You can see this here. This is the road here, and the Berlin Wall going along the road just in front of us here.
Yeah.
All this area was just a border control zone.
Right.
So here's a picture of. So this is that's the Brandenburg Gate.
Oh yes. We're almost there. Yeah.
And this is the Potsdamer Platz, which was before the war. It was a very busy place.
Popular, yeah.
Here, I'll show you this. You can see this is pre-war.
Oh.
And you can see this Platz here.
It's still intact, yeah.
That's the Leipziger Platz.
Yeah.
And then there's the Leipziger Platz.
In Italy, it's called Piazza.
Yeah.
Here it's Platz, yeah.
Yeah. But it's, but yeah, you can see how the,
Got it, yeah.
just kind of, this whole area was leveled to the ground because it was part of the government quarter. And finally in the 80s, they filled in his bunker.
Oh, okay.
So there's no, you can no longer access.
So when did it become a parking lot like this, yeah?
Yeah, well, in the 1980s. So these were built, I believe, 1988.
Yeah.
And then the sign doesn't show up till like 2006.
Yeah.
At first, they had just kind of wanted it to be.
There's even a lock, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want people to whatever, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we can let's walk up this way.
Okay.
So we're going to go
Same.
over to the Holocaust Memorial.
Oh, yeah.
We can go over on this side.
Yeah, let's go here. Somebody's there. Yeah. It's another tour guide. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the one spot where you seem to see the most people. Have you heard much about the? Have you heard much about the Holocaust Memorial?
Not really, no.
So
I know what the Holocaust is. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, being that this was the government quarter where the decisions and policies were put into effect, which created the Holocaust, they began to call for a memorial to the victims of the Nazi regime to be built in the government quarter where this was planned and executed.
Yeah, I wondered when his hatred for Jews started.
Well,
I guess nobody knows. Huh?
no, I mean there's a pretty good
Explanation?
yeah. It begins. He really begins to form his opinion following World War One.
Okay.
And he wrote the book Mein Kampf in 1924.
What does that mean, Mein Kampf?
Means my struggle.
Oh, he was in prison, yeah.
Yeah, he was in prison because of the beer hall putsch,
Yeah.
which was actually supported by one of the Prussian generals, Ludendorff. However, yeah, so he in that, he basically creates his whole theory about how the Jews are parasites on the
Right,
country.
right. Blaming.
He essentially brings the now let's go right here for a second.
I see all these e-scooters everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
That's what South Park was making fun of. Yeah, yeah, I don't know if they have South Park here.
But let's take a look. So if we
This, yes, I was here yesterday.
So, here's an aerial map. This is from the U.S. Air Force, September 6, 1943. And they flew over this area and they have the recon. So you can see the Leipziger Platz there.
Right.
And here's this was the Chancellery. And so now we're entering this zone here, which was where the Goebbels villa was. So Joseph and Magda Goebbels, they moved into the bunker.
Okay.
That's who these
family.
guys are. And then following Hitler's suicide, they also committed suicide, and they found the remains of their bodies.
Yeah.
So he had his villa over on this side. But what I want to do here actually is I want you to go through this kind of on your own.
Actually, I went there yesterday. I spent a long time.
Oh, you did?
Already, yeah.
Okay, let's go across then, and I can tell
And they said photography wasn't allowed, yeah.
But this is intended to be your or to be interpreted by you.
Right. There are no names, yeah.
There's no names. So when you explored it, how did it kind of make you feel, or what did you?
I see people are sitting on most of them. Is that a sign of disrespect or?
No, I guess you're allowed to. They say that you're not allowed to actually stand on top of them.
But some people are actually. Nobody seems to care here.
Yeah.
Some people even sleeping here.
Well, it's yeah. I mean, and that makes us. So this space is really supposed to kind of reflect the confusion and the isolation and the oppression that these Jewish victims face.
Right, right.
And also you can also see sort of the disrespect or the
Yes. People don't care, I guess.
Yeah, so you can also see that as reflecting some of what what happened in the Holocaust itself.
Obviously, yeah.
Well, let's kind of.
You can easily get lost in the middle here.
I know. So that's why I was going to say that we can have a meeting point and meet on the other side.
Yeah, let's do that right now. Yeah.
So let's see. Actually,
Yep.
you can see just on the other side there.
Oh, that sign, the one with the triangle, yeah, inverted triangle.
But actually, let's not go to that one. Right in the middle there.
Okay.
You know what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go like kind of walk right around and stand over there so that I don't miss you. And then, And then I'll have you like kind of go in there and explore a bit.
Yeah. Do you have a WhatsApp or?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, because I can just text you in case I get lost.
You won't get lost though, but yeah.
I'm a bit claustrophobic. That's why I don't want to go in the middle.
Okay, we don't have to.
Yeah.
If you don't want to, you want.
No. There's no need. Yeah.
Okay, let's just go around the outside.
Let's go.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna avoid it. Yeah.
Yeah, I sent you a WhatsApp.
Oh, you did. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh yeah. It's just English in the middle.
That's a picture. You can see the gate.
Yeah, I see the
over here. There's the Brandenburg gate.
T34. Yeah,
Just at the
Brandenburg. I see it. Yeah.
And this is the old garden.
And the Reichstag over there.
And you can see the Ministry Gardens.
Yeah, the garden.
And this was before they built the. The new Reich Chancellery. So this is 1928. So this is where the Chancellery was. Here's the original, and you can see the park. And so this is.
See the sloping armor and the way the Panther copied the design.
Yeah.
Yeah, Germans didn't have sloping, and I don't know why they never did. It was quite obvious any stupid guy can come with sloping armor.
Right. Yeah.
And the Germans prided themselves in being smart, But the Russians were smarter. Yeah. Well, Soviets, yeah.
Well, they won.
Well, outnumbered, basically. If you're outnumbered, doesn't matter how superior you are. Yeah.
So over there is the memorial for the homosexual victims of the regime.
Oh, that's right. Amsterdam also. She showed me the. Just like.
And also in front of the Brandenburg Gate, there's a pathway that leads to the memorial for the Roma and Sinti.
Oh, the Romans, yeah.
Yeah, Roma and Sinti. They are also known as gypsies.
Right.
They were kind of nomadic.
It wasn't just Jews, yeah.
It wasn't just Jews. However, the Jews were
the main, yeah.
majority. And Hitler blames the end of World War I. It's not. They don't see it as the defeat of the German army. They just see it as a stab in the back from the politicians and the financiers who essentially said, we're running out of money. We can't afford this war anymore. And probably made a good decision.
Right.
The war, World War I, had essentially been started by the foolishness of Kaiser Wilhelm II, so Hey, buddy. Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
What does it usually go for?
See, familiar people, yeah.
What's up?
Familiar people.
Yeah, one of the guys I work with.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
It's not. I mean, you can basically walk Berlin.
yeah,
In a way. Yeah.
it's pretty. We're in.
Walk up.
We're in the. We're in the old city center.
Right.
So we're in the district of Mitte, which means middle.
Oh,
There's the American embassy there.
Oh.
Um,
In case I lose my passport, yeah.
yeah, you could go over there.
Yeah.
And then they'll probably send you out to Wilmersdorf.
Oh, some of them are showing their medals, you know. So proud of their medals from yesterday.
They did it. They did it.
It's,
I've never done a marathon. I'll tell you that.
I can't even run, to be honest. Maybe for a short distance, you know. No, not like Tom Cruise, you know.
Right.
We're only a few years apart, you know.
Oh,
I'm in really bad shape. Yeah. Maybe it's some Scientology juicy drinks, you know. Keeps him young, you know.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
How old is Tom Cruise?
I think 61, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
That obviously they never broadcast that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you know, all he does, the movies he actually does it. There's no stunt people.
Well, for all that stuff, like
Well, that's what he claims, you know.
wow.
Skydiving, all everything, you know.
Yeah.
Hanging on a plane, and things like that. Skyscraper, Burj Khalifa, he did it all. Obviously had wires, so
Right.
I don't know. Can you do that?
No.
It's older than you. So I really say it's the Scientology juice, you know. Some magic juicy drinks, you know. You gotta join Scientology. I'm kidding. Police, yeah.
You said your niece.
She lives in Oldenburg. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I asked her why. I never really got a straight answer. I guess she just wants a quiet life, you know, simple life.
Oh,
Yeah,
in
so-
Oldenburg?
Yeah, I said, why not Berlin? Well, I don't know. It's different here. It's the opposite of Oldenburg.
Yeah.
There's nothing out there. There's no Starbucks. There's a McDonald's, but it's miles away.
Yeah.
Keep using English units. I should say kilometers away. And using centigrade,
Right.
which I have to do a conversion.
Yeah, it makes it. It's hard to think about it in the beginning, for sure.
Yeah, I still know the formula to convert to Fahrenheit. But
Yeah, double it, add 32.
9/5 plus 32, yeah. There you go, yeah.
Here's
Yeah. Yep. Oh, Brandenburg, yes.
so
Okay.
so Berlin really starts off as a small town.
Unter den Linden. Yeah. Oh, that side.
You can see the tower in the
The
center.
TV, I was there yesterday. TV tower.
The one to the right, the red tower. That's the Rotes Rathaus. You see that one
Oh,
there?
the red.
And that is basically right in the center of town.
Okay.
So the old center of Berlin, and this is from 1550. The old center of Berlin is kind of gathered right around that red tower there. And then the 30 Years' War is what really changes Berlin. Following the 30 Years' War, the great elector who has witnessed the decimation of Germany, the decimation of Berlin in the 30 Years' War, he decides that Berlin needs an army, and we also need to have some fortifications around the city. And
Oh.
So he expanded this area, and that's where we're standing now.
Okay.
So this road leads right down to the center, to the middle here.
Right.
And
The
that,
Mitte.
yeah, and the Rotes Rathaus is right about here.
Yeah.
So you're looking straight down, and then we're actually looking over an island, and you can see this shape here. If you look at just a regular, normal Google map, right in the center of Berlin, you can see that same shape.
Yeah, the Spree River. Yeah.
The Spree River, yeah, and then the Spree Canal, and this was the island of Kolm, and then you can see where the train line goes. That used to be where the fortifications for the walls were.
Okay.
So when they built the train line, they had a nice clear line going through the center of the city to build the railway.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we are right now. Well, let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
So at the end of the road, at the end of this road in this direction is the palace too. The palace is sitting just in front of the red tower.
Yeah.
And so this was the edge of the city.
Right.
And then the city, and then on the other side you have the Tiergarten Park, and that used to be a hunting preserve. So Tier meaning animal, so Tiergarten, animal garden. It was a hunting preserve up until the era of Friedrich the Great, and then there's a country lane that is extended through the park, and then he will also build the Schloss Charlottenburg, which
What's the name of the street? Yeah, avenue here.
That's the Avenue June 17th.
Ah.
So that's the avenue that they named. They renamed that following the uprising that took place in 1953. But during so essentially Berlin was really just this center zone.
A wall, yeah.
And we've kind of walked through here and over this way, and now we're up here.
Oh, okay.
So we've been right in what
the Mitte, yeah.
The Mitte, yeah.
Middle, yeah.
Let's go this way.
Got it, yeah. A lot of construction, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday was full of marathon runners here, obviously. They used this road here. I don't know, when did the selfie became popular? I was never a selfie person.
Oh, I don't know, like maybe 2005?
Who wants to see my ugly face?
2006?
Yeah. See? I always tell my brother, you're not young anymore. Why do selfie, You have gray hair, Come on, man. You're not Tom Cruise, Oh, yeah. Here we go. Yeah.
So the gate was built in
Brandenburg, yeah.
1793, or it was finished in 1793, following the reign of Friedrich the Great. And Prussia had been going through a time of peace.
Right.
And so the gate was dedicated to European peace and unity. And it stood originally with just a laurel wreath on top. And that's the way that it stood through World War II. Then in 1806, Napoleon Bonaparte, he will invade Berlin. He will occupy the city for 7 years. During that time, they took the quadriga, the horse sculpture, they took it off the gate, and they took it to Paris, where it was. And it was in Paris until Napoleon's defeat at Waterloo.
Right.
And following his defeat at Waterloo, the Prussians were able to were able to get back a lot of artwork that they had taken, and then also the quadriga. And that's when they installed the Iron Cross in 1815. The Iron Cross, which symbolizes the Prussian military,
right.
And then the eagle on top symbolizes the Prussian kingdom. And that's the way that it stands through World War II.
Right.
And then in World War II, it was more or less destroyed. Let me find a quick picture here. So World War II, it was more or less destroyed.
Yeah.
But when they rebuild the quadriga, the eastern. So this actually sits inside of the Berlin Wall.
It actually survived the bombing. Yeah, this is Brandenburg. Yeah.
Pretty much. Some of it had been destroyed on that side. Some of it has been rebuilt and some and restored, but it more or less had survived. But when the wall was built, you can see that it just stood all by itself. And the wall went right up around the front here, and this is the area that we just walked through.
Okay.
So with it standing in the east, they wanted to get rid of all Prussian symbols, and so you can see this picture from 1957, and again, it just is a laurel wreath.
Oh.
And they took the military symbols off.
Oh.
And so then in 1993, they restored it back.
Restored it.
Yeah. So that wreath represented unity, and we'll also see another use of that in the symbology on the bridge that leads to. Well, you can see the yellow building in this direction, like just if you come in front of the red tower, you can see that roof line kind of cutting across diagonally, and that's the palace there. But let's go.
Yeah. We're gonna see the Reichstag.
Yeah, the Reichstag.
In this direction. Everyone's a celebrity now, I guess.
Everyone's a superhero.
Yeah. What do you call that? Oh, there you go. Yeah. Everybody's famous for doing nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Famous for 15 minutes.
Just like that guy who shot John Lennon, you know?
Oh yeah.
He wanted to be famous, yeah.
Mark Chapman.
Yeah, he's alive, yeah. They released him.
So you can see
Yeah.
down the avenue, June 17th, you can see the tower there. That's the Siegsäule, which means victory column.
But isn't it Unter den Linden or something?
No, that's this way.
Oh, that's Unter den Linden.
Yeah, so Unter den Linden starts here and goes towards the center.
Yeah.
And then here it starts with June 17th, Avenue June 17th.
So in a way, this is kind of like a Champs-Élysées.
Yeah.
And that's
like that. But the tower, you can see the Siegsäule out there.
Yeah.
With the golden winged. So that is the victory column. And if we take a look back at if we take a look back at this picture here.
Yeah.
You can see the Siegsäule used to be out in
front.
front.
In there, yeah.
So it used to be out in front of the Reichstag over here.
Right.
And that commemorates the three wars. So Prussia will build an army through the 1700s, and then in the 1800s they become, the most powerful German-speaking army. And so when other regions of Germany are threatened, Prussia will come to their defense. And so during the 1860s, Otto von Bismarck will use diplomacy and the Prussian army to defend different regions in Germany, and then form the German Empire in 1871. And so the Siegsäule is the commemoration of the three wars that they fought to form the German Empire in 1871. Let's keep going this way.
Let's go.
And so after they form the German Empire, they build the Reichstag. The Reichstag was built over a period of 10 years, between 1884 and 1894.
What does it mean here?
Reichstag, well, it's just basically a German word for a parliament.
Oh, okay.
Or a Congress hall.
Okay.
And
Congress then, yeah.
Yeah, and so this was where the day-to-day government decisions during the German Empire took place, and of course the leadership under Kaiser Wilhelm II. Germany will be led into the First World War, and that World War will essentially bring an end to the Kaiser's reign. So the German Empire folds.
Okay.
The constitutional monarchy that had existed was really it really didn't provide for a lot of democracy.
Okay.
It was a collection of officials who had been from a lineage or from royal lineage, but they were not. But the chamber itself was not seen as very democratically elected, and the final say kind of fell on the Kaiser. The Kaiser Wilhelm II begins to embark on a plan to build a navy for Germany to become an empire, and that puts him at odds with England, France, and Russia. And so, following World War I, it's essentially Germany running out of money,
Right.
and forcing the king to abdicate his throne. They then formed the Weimar Republic. We saw a little bit of that down at the
You showed me, yeah.
at the sign.
Yeah.
And then this became the chamber for the Weimar Republic.
So in the US we have the White House. In Germany they have what?
The Chancellery.
Ah, where's that?
It's right there, actually, right at the...
Oh, okay, okay. Because here is a prime minister, right?
No, it's a chancellor.
Chancellor. Oh, sorry.
But here is the memorial for the Roma and the Sinti.
Oh, the persecuted there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just the gays and the Jews. It's this other. They were also prosecuted there.
Yeah.
The memorial.
Yeah.
Romans and the
Roma? Yeah.
and then the
Sinti.
what's Cynthia?
Sinti, S-I-N-T-I. I don't know. It's just what they are. It's what the name is, I guess.
Yeah. Must be another minority group, yeah. But
Yeah,
basically
I think-
gypsies, yeah.
Yeah, basically gypsies. Yeah. But would you like to go and? Have
Yeah. Let's go here.
a little peek?
Take a peek, yeah. So how many of these people got executed?
About 500,000. 500,000.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About
I
6
mean-
million Jews.
And then this one, yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea here.
500,000. Yeah.
So if you include that and then the case, that's a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Maybe 8 million.
Yeah.
Man, they really killed a lot of people. Not to mention the soldiers
Not to
who
mention-
fought in World War II, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have any relatives who were in World War II, do you?
Just my great uncle.
Yeah, what was he doing?
He was in the American. He was in Patton's Third Army.
What? He was in the front line.
He was in the front lines. He landed in Normandy like 3 days after.
He survived. Oh, 3 days. Not the first day.
Not the first.
A lot of them died on the first day. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was in the battle though
Yeah.
for the battle for Normandy, and then he fought in the Battle of the Bulge.
Whoa, the surprise. Yeah.
And
The surprise. Yeah.
and his brother was my grandfather. He was in the Coast Guard.
Wow. Yeah.
But yeah, we were just Americans.
So you had the history. Yeah.
Americans.
Yeah, the connection. Yeah.
Let's head.
Yeah. That was his last tactic, the Battle of the Bulge, yeah.
Yeah.
He thought he would have a chance, you know. Maybe just slowing them down or something. Yeah.
Well, he was going to try to seize Antwerp, where they were.
Maybe
bringing
come
in
up
all
with
this
some
supplies.
kind of agreement, yeah. Hey, but, you know, again, just like the Russian supply lines, yeah.
Were you born in the Philippines then?
Yes.
Did you? How long were you? Did you grow up in the Philippines?
I arrived in the United States 1986, so I've been there since, yeah.
Okay.
So I was 29, yeah,
Oh, okay.
when I joined the U.S. Army. So I was the old man
You're the old man. In the
amongst the teenagers. So when they were running, I was like walking, basically. When I couldn't do it anymore, two people were carrying me, helping me out to finish it,
So they let you go.
Yep, discharged, but they call it ETA. So they erase all my records. Some kind of early termination, something.
Oh yeah.
I don't have any records, Even if someone looks me up. Discharge, at least you got a record. I don't have a record.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Dem Deutscher Volke. What does that mean?
The German people.
Oh, the German people. Volke, yeah. Volke.
I think it means to the German people.
Yeah.
Dem would be to them.
You know how the U.S. flag? Oh, there's like stars and stripes.
Yeah.
And we always use American eagle. Here they have an eagle as well.
Yeah.
Always a symbol here.
The Adler.
Yeah.
German Adler. Yeah, let's go. We can cross here.
So you said you've been here 9 years? Or?
9 years, yeah.
Wow. And you like it? You've settled here?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. No relatives or anything?
My family's here.
Yeah.
My wife and children. My one daughter is in college.
So, but do they like it here?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I like living in Europe.
It seems like they have a good system here.
Yeah.
As far as welfare, education, yeah.
Yeah.
At least better than US, I realized my niece is luckier to be in Germany than America.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I went to the grocery, Rewe, and then the one that starts with A, Aldi.
Aldi, yeah.
And I said, wow, you have better merchandise here, healthier.
Yeah.
Unlike all the chemicals we eat, all the junk we eat in America.
Yeah.
No wonder people are fat and dying of cancer over there. Here's more, they're more into bio or organic,
Yeah.
Same thing in Australia.
Too,
Is it?
Yeah, it's much more affordable.
Yeah, better chocolate and ice cream. It's not as sweet, it's not as salty. In America, everything is salty or sweet,
Yeah.
And they give you too much food.
Right. They give you giant portions.
And you see kids dying of a heart attack over there. Actual kids, because of the junk they eat,
Yeah.
Yep, and the junk they get from school. Nobody learns. A lot of Americans, forgive me for saying, are not so smart.
They're not.
Today's, not in the past.
Yeah.
Today, they don't even know who started World War II, to be honest.
Yeah.
They have no idea.
No, I know. That's a shame. Is that we really need to try to learn from the history, because this is what happens if you get a far right group.
Well, the conditions are about when there's a bad economy, then someone blames somebody, and you got this so-called messiah leader.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they say, "Oh, we're gonna believe him. We're gonna be better." Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You think that?
But this was where. Have you heard of the Reichstag fire?
No.
So, are you familiar with Hitler's rise to power?
Not so much. Yeah, go ahead there.
So during the Weimar Republic, that begins in 1919, and it's really Germany's first go around with democracy. And it also gives rise to about 12 different political parties, all seeking, influence in the Reichstag. But with so many different political parties, you have a hard time making any firm decisions. And so, in 1929, you have the Wall Street crash. You also have
the Great Depression.
the Great Depression. You have the economic downturn of Germany following the Treaty of Versailles and the reparations. Hitler in 1923, he is a government operative who is told to go and kind of get into this German Workers' Party and take a look and see what's going on. He ends up really identifying with the German Workers' Party, and he will take it over, and he will rename it the National Socialist German Workers' Party, and that will become, of course, the Nazis.
Yeah.
But when he tried to take over the Bavarian government, he was arrested. He was thrown in jail.
Mein Kampf, yeah.
And that's where he begins to write his Mein Kampf. But then he will be released after 9 months, and then he will petition the German government after a period of about a year and a half. Will reorganize the Nazi Party and begin to run for elections in the various different parliamentary districts that are now have now been established throughout Germany. And so really their popularity comes from not really from the cities, but from the workers and the common people in the outer lying areas of most of the big cities. By 1932, they've amassed 30% of the seats in parliament.
Right.
And their closest political rival behind them was the Communist Party.
Okay.
Behind them you had like the Social Democratic Party, the Christian Democratic Union, and then you had a number of other, a number of different other parties. Some supporting, a restoration of the monarchy. Some supporting the communists. Some supporting, well, it was very fractured.
Right.
And it was also kind of a time of chaos and violence when the Nazis would march in the streets. The Soviets would show up in their red shirts and throw rocks and stones. When the communists had their meetings, the Nazis would disrupt that, cause a big disturbance. Also, the Nazis were known for these brown shirts, where they were kind of bullying their ways through town. And so, in order to kind of bring Hitler under sway, Paul von Hindenburg, who defeats Hitler in the election of '32 for president, but he will name him into his cabinet as chancellor. And with the naming of him as chancellor, 1 month later, there's a fire in the Reichstag.
The mysterious fire.
The mysterious fire, yeah. And so what happens is, because of that fire, there's an article in the Weimar Constitution, and it says that in the face of emergency, we can enact this emergency article. We can declare martial law. We can strip people of their civil rights, and basically, it gives all of the power to the chancellor and the president. So they pass. So when the fire happens, it's blamed on the communists.
Yep.
And they pass the Reichstag fire decree. They label the communists as revolutionary, anti-German, force in society.
Right.
And so
the boogeyman, yeah.
The boogeyman. They begin to arrest them, and they begin to take them. The very first concentration camps were actually of a political.
Sounds familiar, yeah.
So they consolidate power through 1933 and 1934. They are successful in dissolving the Reichstag, imprisoning their political rivals, and in 1934, after Hitler purges some of his own party with the blessing of Hindenburg, sort of astonishingly murders 80 different Nazi officials and really irons his firms up his grip on power. Paul von Hindenburg dies in 1934. And when he dies, there was no election held. Hitler was just named as the leader and
the Führer.
The Führer, the supreme leader. And after the Reichstag fire, the building was not used as a parliamentary hall. The Reichstag fire decree was actually passed in the Kroll Opera House, which was a building that stood on the other side here.
Okay.
And then following, during World War II, this became the focal point for the Russian assault on the city. And so we have the Reichstag battle that took place here. Well, before I get to the battle, what I want to show you this.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Welt Hauptstadt Germania?
No.
Okay, so Adolf Hitler had a plan that he had designed with this guy. This is Albert Speer.
Oh, the architect. Yeah.
So Albert Speer was the architect, and they had drawn up plans for a brand new Berlin.
Right, the 1,000-year.
Yeah, the 1,000-year Reich. And so this dome was of outsized proportions, and it was supposed to be
A
built
big one, yeah.
right in front of us here. And so here's
There was an Amazon Prime video about that alternative reality.
oh yeah,
I remember that. I forgot the name. Yeah.
the man in the high castle.
Right.
Yeah.
And they showed that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And they have so here you can see that's the Reichstag building.
That's so small compared to the.
Compared to that, so this thing was just been this massive giant.
Right.
So you can see here is a picture of the Brandenburg Gate, and that's this. So
The proposed. Yeah.
so they had here's another photo of what it would have looked like from the Brandenburg
Had
Gate.
they built it. Yeah.
Had they built it, there would have been this massive thing. But during so when the battle starts, so the original Reichstag grounds, this was a nice area. You can see you can see all the buildings here.
Yeah.
These buildings were a part of the diplomatic quarter. You can see this group of buildings here. The only one of these buildings that still exists is the Swedish embassy right there.
Ah, I see.
And so that's this building right here.
Far away.
And they the Nazis had begun to prepare this area for the building of this giant thing. So
They thought they were gonna win the war.
yeah, and so they removed some of the buildings on this side. And so when the battle happens, they really only allow two different bridges. A bridge from that area on that side, and then there's a bridge that approaches there. And the Russians chose that bridge to build up their forces. And let's see. So you can see this picture here. So here's the Reichstag, and you've got this the Spree River right out in front of us.
Getting
here.
attacked, yeah.
And so they come over to the other side. They build up their troops, and then they come across the bridge. Now at the time, that's what it looked like going down the road there.
Right.
And the buildings were full of soldiers. And the first day of the battle, they have the 88s. You can see this
The
picture.
famous German 88s, yeah.
There's an 88.
Anti-aircraft, yeah.
And it's pointing straight
Towards,
down there.
yeah, the Russians, yeah.
And so the first day of the battle, when they come across the bridge, there's a big the tanks get knocked out.
Right.
And now this is taken on the 29th.
Nice.
And you can see them bringing up the IS-9 tanks,
the bigger ones, yeah.
and so they come through, and when they get to the front, well, they finally take the buildings on both sides, because this is a picture from the battle. Right. And there was this large pit that was in front of them, and of course this sweeping fire is all from the front here, and so they have to head this way. Here's another. You can see the water pit, and then you can also see the trench that had been dug for the U-Bahn. So the tanks come this way. They begin a battle over here at the Kroll Opera House, and then on the night of April 30th, they send 4 Soviet troops into the Reichstag with the battle still going on, and they give them a banner and say, "You got to get to the roof and put this banner up," because Joseph Stalin, he wanted he wanted the Reichstag to be taken by May 1st.
They raced
which is May Day. So here's a picture of
Labor Day.
you can see the banner.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Just kind of up on the top there.
Yeah.
So that was taken, following the battle.
Well, obviously they had to follow Stalin's orders.
They had to follow Stalin's orders. Yeah. So In the meantime, you know, the city is under attack on all sides.
Yeah,
And,
the Americans too.
And Hitler is just we know where he was.
Yeah.
He was just there, and on the 30th, word gets out that Hitler has committed suicide, and so on May 1st, the battle is still going on here, and they begin talking about a unconditional surrender. That's the night where Joseph Goebbels then will commit suicide. He will kill all of his children as well. And then they will call for the ceasefire on May 2nd, 8 o'clock in the morning on May 2nd. And then the fighting actually doesn't stop here until the afternoon of May 2nd.
Okay.
So it was a long battle. That kind of shows you what it looked like following the battle. You can see. Well, let me show you. Let me show you this one here. Oh, these are some. There's another picture following the battle. You can see a couple of refugees down there. But it was pretty well beat up. Now, following the war, it was restored, but the dome was taken off.
Oh, okay.
And so the new dome that you see there, you can see the people walking up. That was built in or completed in 1993.
Okay.
And then. So following reunification, well, when the city was divided, the capital of West Germany became Bonn, and Bonn is out, more towards the French border. This fell inside of the British territory, so this was a part of the West, and so the Reichstag building was really used as an exhibition space. There was a famous concert by David Bowie out front here. Right. But it wasn't used again as a government quarter until 1993. It was reopened. And then they also designed the, look, maybe that's Olaf Scholz.
Oh, he's landing.
So that is the
new chancellor.
That's the new chancellor.
Yeah, before it was Angela Merkel.
It looks like they're landing in the back.
Oh, yeah. It's not the roof,
That must be
kind of like Air Force One. Well, helicopter,
Marine One, right?
Marine One, I forgot the name.
That's the helicopter.
Yeah.
But notice the chancellery now.
Yeah.
And notice
That's
the
the chancellery,
buildings. And they connect east to west, and it actually goes over the river where the dividing line was.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's an underground as well. Yeah.
Oh, there is. There definitely is. There's a tunnel that goes underground, but it's a highway. It's the B96 highway that goes underneath the.
Based on their history.
Yeah.
People like tunnels for some reason.
They love to make those.
I got the Kuchi tunnels.
Oh yeah, the Kuchi tunnels.
Yeah, I've been there last year. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, Vietnam. Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go this way.
Okay, let's go.
I went to Vietnam. I thought it was.
I like it compared to Thailand and Cambodia. Vietnam was my favorite. Yeah.
I like Vietnam, but it was a little bit depressing, I guess.
It is. It's not as affluent as Thailand,
But it's also, just to think about the war there and all the.
Well, yeah.
I really think that was a mistake.
A lot of the people you see in Vietnam now never experienced the war. They were born after. That's what they were telling me. Yeah. They have no idea what the war was. Yeah.
Right. So, would you like to go see the Soviet War Memorial?
Is it far?
It's right here.
Yeah. Let's go.
Careful right here, though.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
I mean, we could, after we see the memorial, we could take a break, have a little rest.
Yeah.
Get a drink or something?
Yeah, maybe I need to recharge my phone as well.
Okay.
All this recording drained the battery,
Okay.
Besides, who would want to watch a 2-hour YouTube video?
Right, you gotta have to edit it, right?
I don't know, I gotta break it down and just do a lot of editing. Yeah, let's take a break, definitely.
You want to take a break here? No?
Yeah.
We could go to the memorial and come
Yeah,
back.
let's go. Yeah, memorial first. Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So let's go. Can we get through here?
I didn't realize there's so many places here. Is it? I'm vegetarian now. Is it used to be vegetarian here? That's what they said in Berlin. Yeah.
Probably should be something vegetarian.
Yeah. Last year I was eating a lot of meat. I just converted recently.
Oh, you did?
Not because of the Greta Thunberg, because of selfish interests.
Yeah.
For my own self-preservation.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. But to be honest, I do miss meat, you know. There's a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still getting used to all this vegetarian crap, you know.
Right.
Okay. Oh, the Soviets. Forgot about those bastards. I just lost some subscribers there. Yeah, some from Russia. Call them bastards, you know. I don't mean you, the government.
Well, so this memorial was built out of the ruins of Hitler's chancellery. So when the war ended, the chancellery had been bombed, and they just began to remove the stones and repurpose them.
Yeah.
So,
You know, the entire tour, what time are gonna be done? Just wondering.
well, probably about 3:30 or 4.
What?
What?
No. It's didn't really realize it's gonna be like a marathon.
Well, what time? Well, what time do you have until?
Maybe 2.
Yeah.
Is that doable? Yeah.
That's.
Yeah, we can cut it short. You know.
Yeah.
I gotta go somewhere.
Um.
Because a lot of these you can Google, right?
Yeah.
If you had the patience, you know.
Yeah, you can Google it for sure, but
Wikipedia.
yeah, Wikipedia.
Anybody can just contribute to that.
Yeah, so we don't know if it's right or.
Well, they have, I don't know, they actually have people who monitor it somehow. You can just put fake stuff there.
Yeah.
It doesn't stay there for a long time.
Right.
I tried to add something and.
Do you still work in IT or?
Oh no, I retired. When was it? The startup 2021. I was retired. So.
Oh, okay.
So.
So now you're just enjoying your time.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was gonna be 3 years already. Yeah. Same time as my younger brother who passed away last year.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, we lived together in the same house, you know.
Did he die? Was it COVID or
Cancer, yeah.
cancer?
Yeah, the C word, yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. I'm sorry.
Well, he actually died of a heart attack, which is kind of like mercy killing in a way, you know, because he was suffering from cancer.
Yeah.
Heart attack better than cancer, you know. Quick death, you know. Oh, what? Oh, the Soviet memorial.
Yeah. So that's the memorial. You can see the T-34 tanks.
Yeah. There's one in the War Memorial in London, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like London too.
Yeah, London's cool.
Yeah, but it's mostly shopping, you know.
But yeah, there's about 2,000 soldiers who died
Who
during
died? Yeah, more on the Soviet side. Yeah.
during the battle.
Yeah.
About 2,000 buried here.
Not sure why, because they never really were good tacticians, you know. Unlike the Americans, you know.
Yeah.
As far as tactics, nobody can beat the Americans.
Yeah.
They're smarter fighters compared to the Soviets.
Right.
But Stalin didn't really care about his army anyway.
He didn't care if they lived. That's for
Right, that's it. So they weren't well equipped, you know.
Yeah.
If the Americans didn't get involved in World War II, Hitler probably would have won, yeah.
Yeah. Well, also the Americans gave a lot to the Red Army for the Lend-Lease.
Yeah, there you go. And the Russians never had any gratitude whatsoever.
And the howitzers too, right?
Hey, even China, you know.
Aren't these howitzers American?
Right. The old one, yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, T-34, yeah. And that's the memorial.
Yeah, so that's where the names that you see on here are soldiers who have been awarded, like the Soviet. The boulevard in front of us, Unter den Linden, was added to the city in the 1600s. So it was an extension to the city. And if we walk down the boulevard, we'll get to some of the more classic development that took place. So you've got some 18th century architecture.
Okay.
So we'll head. It's going to take us about 10 minutes to walk there.
Yeah.
We can walk down the road and I can tell you a little bit about the history.
Yeah.
So, you know, the 30 Years' War has the biggest effect on the city. And then at that time, you know, this region was just known as Brandenburg. It was known as the Margravate of Brandenburg. And it was under the Holy Roman Empire. And during the 30 Years' War, Germany itself was divided between many different margraves.
Okay.
And many different people, many different Germanic rulers, but with no real unity.
Right.
And so it's the great elector. He returns to the city and he builds the fortifications, and he will start the military. And the military will become the driving force behind the formation of Prussia and the rise of Prussia as an important European power. And then Prussia will be instrumental in defending the other regions of Germany, and then forming the German Empire in 1871.
Okay.
So the area that we're going to now is more of the classical part of Berlin. It's really where the city first begins, and the finding of Berlin goes all the way back to 1237. And in 1237, they discovered a paper in the Nikolaikirche, and that is, and it referenced an argument that took place between the king and the Margrave. So that's where that's where the earliest or the first mentions of Berlin are traced.
Okay. And the name Berlin, where did it come from?
Well, there's actually two different stories.
Okay.
One story is that it is simply named after a bear.
Okay.
The bear is the symbol of the city.
Okay.
However, that is also that can also be traced to someone by the name of Albert the Bear.
Okay.
And Albert the Bear was the very first Margrave of Brandenburg. And the other story is that it's Burl, and it means a swampy or marshy area, and it's a Slavic word for a swampland is Burl. So kind of two different stories. One says it relates to the bear, and the other one says that it relates to a swampy marshland. So you can choose which one you believe, I guess.
Oh, I saw a flag. What's that? No, that wasn't Russian.
Russia's right here.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's
the Russian embassy.
Yeah.
And it's
Still.
architecturally, it's different from the other communist buildings that were built. Because when Joseph Stalin died, equalize the architecture. So in other words, nobody would have a bigger apartment than somebody else, or nobody would have a larger balcony, or there were no like penthouse apartments.
Right there.
It was more of a very egalitarian architectural style.
Right.
So the style that we see here,
It's getting warmer, yeah.
yeah, the style that we see here is more of the classical Stalin-esque
Right,
style.
right. Yeah. Well, Putin, it's now Putin-esque.
Yeah, now it's Putin.
Who was the former KGB, Oh, there you go. It's open top, yeah. Maybe they'll just do a rehash of what you just told me.
Yeah. E.T. Going home.
Ah,
name.
okay. There you go. Yeah, but American T-shirt in a German city.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Santa Cruz.
yeah. That's for surfers,
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not a surfer, are you?
I was.
You were.
I'm not so good anymore.
You seem to have done a lot of things in the past, yeah.
I sure have.
Yeah. You dabble in so many things, yeah.
Try to live to the fullest.
Well, true, yeah. So now you're into coding now.
Coding, yeah.
That's your current interest, eh? Yeah, you should learn from some Python on YouTube, yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy to learn, yeah.
Well, Python's really easy, yeah.
Yeah, it's an easy language. Yeah.
Now you can start to see the palace there.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where we're heading.
Yeah.
Or we could just head close if you need to get back, by 2.
Yeah, we'll head close, yeah. Close.
We got about 25 minutes till 2, so you want to go a little longer, or?
What more are you gonna discuss here?
Well, I wanted to go take you down to the more classical architecture,
Okay, let's do it, yeah.
and then from there maybe I can take you back to.
Yeah. Just can't stay till midnight, That's all I'm saying.
Right. No worries.
Just my battery on my phone won't last anyway. Probably another 2 hours here.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Well, 3 hours if I push it, yeah. And the word is kaput, huh?
Kaput. Yeah,
Kaput.
That means
Yeah, done, yeah.
done or broken.
There's so many meanings, yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on how you use it. It's like that 4-letter word that starts with an F. They edited a YouTube video about how you can use it as a verb.
Yeah.
So,
Adjective.
yeah. It's a very versatile word, yeah.
Very versatile.
Yeah. Even as a term of endearment, believe it or not. Yeah. Even bad words, huh? Yeah. Oh, look at that. That's a kind of like the Uber here. Oh, car sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Miles car.
Yeah. So nobody owns it, huh? Just kind of.
Yeah, you just share the cars.
It's like an electric scooter, huh?
Yeah, it's like an app on your phone. And you can find out where the cars are.
Yeah, just drive it.
I think I have the app.
You can be anywhere and see a car available, drive it, It's funny how that works, huh?
Oh, I guess I must have taken the app off.
No ownership, huh?
But you can only drive it within the city. You can't like drive it.
That's the ultimate socialist idea.
If you drive it outside the city, then it starts to cost a lot of money.
E-scooter. Instead of e-scooter, it's e-car. Well, it's not electric. And I see these bicycles. They pedal you everywhere. Probably charge you an arm and a leg. Yeah?
Yeah.
See that in Asia too. But that's where I got scammed. Yeah?
You got scammed in Asia?
Well, Vietnam actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I kept pedaling and pedaling. Said, I said, I prefer US dollars, you know. We agreed on an amount. When we arrived, demanded more money. I said, what the heck, you know. We already agreed on it. Why demanding more money, you know?
So what did he say?
Well, yeah, we kind of argued, and then he had no choice but to accept my money. But they ran a scam there. It's like, I think anywhere you go, especially Cambodia, avoid Cambodia like the plague, you know. So many scammers there.
A lot of scammers in Cambodia. I never went there.
So you want to see Khmer Rouge? There's a bunch of skulls, you know.
Oh yeah.
No photography allowed, you know.
Where are those skulls?
A lot of people they executed this. So all you see is skulls, skulls, skulls. You're surrounded. It's in Khmer Rouge.
Oh.
And you see a sign, no photography. I mean, who would want to photograph a bunch of skulls anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Paris catacomb.
Yeah, honey. Oh, I've never been there, yeah. Paris catacomb, yeah. And we're going back to that godforsaken place. Remember I told you, yeah?
Oh, Paris?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One bad experience, that's all it takes.
How much did they,
Oh, me and my brother, 1,600 euros.
Oh my god.
Back then,
That's a lot.
the euros were a lot. Now the euro is worthless, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was in 2014. It had a higher value back then.
Yeah.
Almost 10 years now. Almost 10 years ago. The world economy is tanking right now.
Is it?
Well, gasoline in US is almost, in California, by the end of this year, a lot of people are predicting $10 a gallon. Right now, $6 a gallon. The cheapest, you know. And it continues to increase. Thank you, Biden. He blames the Ukraine war. Obviously, you gotta blame somebody.
Yeah.
Or something.
You think they're gonna put Trump in jail?
Honestly, I don't want to comment on that because I support him, you know. You might hate me for that, yeah. And by the way, he's no Hitler. He's far from it. Yeah. Hitler was an evil guy. Trump isn't, yeah. But if you believe the media, he is, yeah.
I don't necessarily think he's evil. I just think he's not very smart.
Well, he's not the smartest guy, obviously.
Yeah.
And he speaks a lot of bad things, you know.
Yeah.
Very offensive, but as far as the economy, when he was president, America was doing well, gasoline was low. Now with Biden, it's actually right now it's more than double the price when Trump was president.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then his justification say, "Oh, it's not me. It's Ukraine. Blame Putin." Okay, fine. But then when let's say the Ukraine war ends, he'll still find some other reason to blame. You know.
Yeah.
It's never me. Anyway, enough politics. I just lost 1 million subscribers right now. If I had 1 million subscribers, I said, "Oh crap, this guy." Just because of what I said. Yeah. Okay, let's not talk about politics.
Well,
If we don't want to lose subscribers.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
the bottom line is that we all just want to do the.
I'm not racist. I support him, but I'm not racist.
Yeah.
I have a lot of black friends. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think he's very good for.
Economically, he is good. Yeah. As far as speaking, maybe not. Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't say the right words most of the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
He speaks his mind. Yeah. Whatever comes to his mind, without any censorship. You know. He doesn't think about the consequence.
Right.
What he says.
Yeah.
That could be a problem in politics.
Yeah.
People always want to hear nice things, right?
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, I said no more politics, but I started it again.
So you think he'll actually get the
Yeah.
the candidacy?
Once you turn your head once more, I'll have a beard here in the middle. I'm kidding. It's no longer in fashion. You see me with a brown shirt and an armband. Oh, that's why. That figures. A Filipino racist here. Yeah. There's a lot of actually blacks who support him. Okay, let's not stop it.
You think there are a lot that do?
Actually, I know a lot of my black friends. Almost all of them support him. Almost, yeah. Not all.
What does they see as the benefit of it?
It's not about his speaking manner, but it's more about the way he handles the economy. Like, yeah, economy was better during his time, and people, news will always say, "Oh, he stole money. He never took a single cent of his salary." If you believe it or not, depends on whose media you believe in.
Yeah.
Never took a salary. He didn't need to. He's rich already. And people say, "Oh yeah, because he was involved in corruption."
Yeah.
Well, what about Biden's corruption? That's at least 100-fold. You know, nobody talks about that. You know.
Well, I think they're trying to, but I don't think they found as much evidence.
Well, it's the DOJ, FBI, they're all in connivance with Biden. They're all trying to hide the evidence. Even that so-called January 6th uprising, a lot of FBI undercover people were involved in that one. They even opened the doors for people so they can get in. Anyway, let's stop it there. What is this?
That is the statue of Friedrich the Great.
Ah,
So this is Friedrich II.
yeah.
And his during his reign, he brings a lot of he brings literature to the city. Let's try to actually go to the other side.
Yeah. If it's safe, yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. Okay. Jaywalking is allowed here. Seems like.
Not necessarily, but they don't have very many crosswalks either. So.
Yeah, I mean, nobody stops. Police won't stop you.
Yeah.
Even the trains and the metro, nobody checks your ticket. I see that you can get a free ride, basically.
Yeah, they'll just surprise it on you.
Yeah, just an inspector.
Yeah.
I've never seen one so far. So I bought a ticket and said, "Why did I spend all this money? I could have ridden the train for free, you know."
Yeah, well, they'll catch you sometimes, though.
Yeah,
Then
but-
you get like a 65-year-old ticket.
Is that the penalty?
Yeah.
Oh crap.
But,
The chances are slim.
yeah.
Start. Okay.
Yeah. So Friedrich the Great here on his horse.
Okay.
He was really kind of the fourth Friedrich in the line of rulers past 30 Years' War,
Okay.
and he rises to the occasion as at a young age. His father dies when he's 53, and Friedrich is 27 when he takes the throne. And he will then lead the country He will lead Prussia through the 7 Years' War, and then following the 7 Years' War, he will focus on trying to bring peace, and he will work on diplomacy, and he will also build all of the architecture that we see really beginning here. And
But he wasn't Hitler, yeah.
he wasn't Hitler, although Hitler liked to kind of model himself after Friedrich.
Really? That's how he sees himself, yeah.
Go down here though.
Yeah.
So after his reign, during his reign,
Yeah.
After acquiring Silesia, he goes on to build what becomes known as the Forum Friedrichshain, and that's where we are right now. This is the Forum.
Oh, here we go. The Forum, yeah.
So
This is the part of German history I'm not aware of. I'm only aware of the World War II, yeah.
right,
Yeah.
So this is between 1740 and 1786.
Giant dome, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's based on the Parthenon, but that is the Catholic cathedral. And so Friedrich also extended an invitation to the Catholics of Silesia to come and live in Berlin. So that's a bit of religious tolerance that he is encouraging. Also, the Opera House in front of us. He built the Opera House.
Okay.
The longest running opera in the city, and the building was completed in 1740. On the other side here, he also built Prince Henry's Palace. This was his brother Henry's palace, or a family residential palace until 1810. And you can see the two statues, the brother here, Wilhelm, and on the other side, Alexander.
Okay.
And they find the university in 1810, and then the university will experience some great prestige up through and up until the time of the National Socialists. There's about 40 different Nobel Prize winners from here. The most famous professor was probably Albert Einstein, but also Max Planck, the discoverer of quantum physics. He was also here. You also had some famous alumni like Otto von Bismarck studied here. Also, the Brothers Grimm.
Right.
The fairy tale guys.
Right, the great, yeah.
They studied here, but also Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels were students
Even
here.
Karl Marx, huh?
Yeah, so they can trace the beginning of communism to and Engels' conversations in the Berlin University, which at the time it was known as the Friedrich Wilhelm University.
Yeah.
So following World War II, when this became East Berlin, the Friedrich Wilhelm University, the name was changed to the Humboldt University after the two brothers, Alexander.
And what church is that?
That church right there is the Berliner Cathedral.
Oh, I see that on the river cruise, yeah.
Yeah. Also here is this is the Platz where they burned 20,000 books. At the
Kristallnacht, right?
Well, Kristallnacht was 1938. This was 1933.
Okay.
And this was essentially a show by the Nazis to really make their ideologies put forth about kind of the progressive liberal climate of the 1920s. So a lot of communist authors and Jewish authors.
Liberal, yeah.
Anything liberal was thrown on the fires, and 20,000 books were burnt.
Right.
But here, come with me though.
Let's go. Yeah. So you don't have to join a gym here. You just walk basically.
Yeah. But this is a memorial, and it is a window that looks down into a room. And really, this memorial, I find it pretty interesting because it sort of appears like there's nothing here.
Right.
And in my interpretation of that, I think that when you burn books, you're left with nothing.
No history. Yeah.
Yeah, no history. No, you're not left with any kind of information. So this is a very stark, very, very. I don't want to say plain memorial, but
He tried to erase the Jewish race, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, from
And
the
this,
planet. Yeah. Oh, here.
And this says
Bibliothek.
that was a prelude only for where they burn books.
Mhm.
In the end, they will also burn people,
Which they did.
which they did. And this
Yeah.
is Heinrich Heine wrote this in 1820, and he was referencing the Spanish Inquisition.
Uh-huh.
Here's a window.
Oh, another one. Yeah. The window. Let's see.
You can see it's the empty library.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah,
Yeah, there's
it's empty.
20,000 books.
There's nothing there. Yeah.
You go right in there, you can see the shelves.
It's all empty. Yeah.
Yeah. The shelves are said to hold 20,000 books, the number of books that were burned that evening.
What kind of books though?
Oh, well, just anything that was written by communist authors or Jewish authors. You know, some of the modern day
So it was very selective then.
yeah. Some of the modern day novelists of the time.
Right.
I believe F. Scott Fitzgerald's work was burned.
It was banned.
Also, Ernest Hemingway, James Joyce, H.G.
Yeah.
Wells.
Even H.G. Wells. Wow. Okay.
They were all thrown onto the fire.
Wow. He was trying to rebuild history.
Yeah.
Erase
Erase the influence.
what he considered bad. Yeah.
But this is now the School of Law, but that was the Prussian Royal Library that Friedrich opened. Now it's the School of Law.
Okay.
And the National Library is just across the road.
Okay. Brought some cough drops if you want.
Oh, thanks. I'm all right.
Yeah. I've been fighting this since I got this from Oldenburg, you know.
Oh, you got a cough when you came over?
Yeah, Oldenburg, yeah. Slowly gone, you know. It's my niece said it's because of the sudden change in temperature.
Could be.
No fever, so it's not COVID, you know. People always in America when you cough, people are always scared, you know. Oh, stay away from me.
Yeah.
And I still see some people wearing masks.
Did you manage to get COVID or?
No, well, I got vaccinated, you know.
Yeah.
Even twice with the
Careful here, step.
booster. But I think I got it from Thailand. I'm not sure. It's only one day, you know.
Yeah.
I got a sore throat and that was it, you know. I felt sick. After one day, it was gone. Not sure. I think it was COVID. Because I went to a mall in Thailand where I kind of heard people coughing, so somebody probably had something. Yeah.
So here's
Yeah.
So if we look at the map now,
Yeah.
so we've kind of come straight down the road, and you can see there used to be fortifications here, and the fortifications would have been right here. The moat would have been just right here,
In front, yeah.
and then on the other side is this area,
Mhm.
and we're right here, and this is where the Crown Prince lived. So Friedrich the Great would have grown up in the second building,
Yeah.
well, the third building down.
Yeah.
And then you had the King's Palace there just beyond.
Right.
And then here on the left is the Armory.
Right.
And
Oh,
so
the
this
pink
whole-
one.
This whole area was the royal residency.
Yep.
And so here was a guard house.
Yeah,
And that's called
guardhouse.
the New Guard House.
The guardhouse.
And it was built in 1818. And for 100 years, it served as the Prussian guardhouse.
Not just in LA, even here. Guess we were crossing too slow, huh?
Oh, the guy beeped.
Yeah.
But this guardhouse becomes a memorial to the fallen German soldiers of World War One.
Ah,
When the king abdicates his throne in 1918.
this one, yeah.
So then it becomes a memorial to the heroes of World War One during the Nazi years.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, yeah.
And during the years of East Germany, this was a memorial to victims of fascism and militarism.
It's always a memorial. Huh?
Yeah. And now it's a memorial to victims of war and dictatorship.
Oh no. It's always a memorial.
Yeah.
Oh man. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, that's...
So this is the Neuwacker.
What's that guy doing there?
That's a statue by Kat Kollwitz.
Uh-huh.
It's called Mother with Dead Son. And she lost a son in the First World War.
Okay.
So it's actually an autobiographical depiction of her cradling her dead son
Okay.
that she lost in World War I. So it's meant to... the oculus stays open, so
Alright.
rain and snow will fall on her.
Yeah, I noticed it
represents
casts a shadow, yeah.
Yeah, she represents human suffering
Right,
caused
right.
by war and dictatorship.
Okay.
Yeah. You can,
You know, history can repeat itself, you know. Yeah. Trying to avoid that, yeah.
yeah, the best would be to avoid that, right?
Right. It's important to learn history.
Yeah.
Any kind of censorship is bad, you know. No matter what side, yeah, is being censored, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, unter den Linden. What does that mean, unter den Linden?
Under the lime trees.
Under the lime, okay, under the lime trees.
They're not like citrus lime trees or something else. I'm not exactly sure. There's a pretty interesting photo though I can show you as we...
There's some weird German letters here. Yeah.
You see the...
Yeah.
across the way there. You see that archway? That's,
Oh, yeah.
that's just at the end of the war.
Yeah. It's actually good to have an iPad while you're explaining, yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Helps
way.
to,
Illustrate, yeah.
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 So this area to our left, this is the armory.
Oh, yeah.
And the Prussian army will essentially begin in Berlin, and they will begin training in front of the palace in the garden. And the garden area is now the museum area.
Yeah, the airlift is pictured here.
Yeah, there's the Temple Hall.
And there's the atom Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
And here's the rise of evil, yeah.
The presidential cabinet of the newly appointed Reich
Hindenburg
Chancellor,
and all that. The evil guy. But I'm surprised it's a required course in German school, huh?
Yeah.
They want to learn, kids to learn it, yeah. I thought they were gonna cover it up, no?
Well, they tried to, I guess.
Yeah.
Just following the war. They kind of.
In Japan, they don't talk about it. I noticed it.
Yeah.
There's even a war memorial there, but it's more of a being proud of what they did during World War II.
Yeah.
That's what I felt, yeah.
Yeah, they never quite have reconciled with the amount of destruction they.
Nope. Unlike the Germans, yeah.
Unlike the Germans, yeah.
So I don't know. Can we trust Japan to be an ally? Not too sure about that.
You know?
I don't know. Yeah. Because when I went to Japan, there was some right-wing group there. They were demonstrating. They were kind of like, what the heck? This seems familiar.
Yeah.
A lot of right-wing Japanese, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, see? That's why I asked if history can repeat itself. You know?
Right, yeah. But so this is where we're just about to hit the Spree Canal here. So
Yeah.
we're going over on
Oh, the spray, yeah.
over to Museum Island.
Yeah. How do you spell spray?
S-P-R-E-E.
Ah, spray, okay. Spray. This is where they do the river cruise.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Some people taking pictures.
So over here is now it's Museum Island.
Oh, it is, okay.
But this, before they built the museums, it was just the royal residency. So you had the royal palace, and then you had the royal gardens. And then the museums, they didn't start to build the museums until 1830.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when they completed the first museum, which is the Altus Museum on the other side here.
Yeah.
And then 1854, they did the Neues Museum. And then the Pergamon is behind that. That was finished in 1930. On the very end of the island is the Boda Museum, and that was finished in 1911.
Okay.
And then you have the Old National Gallery on the other side. That was finished in 1876.
Yeah, in Amsterdam they have a museum square.
Okay.
Yeah, the Van Gogh Rise and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. I also noticed the bridge here. You can see over there. You see the small boy being presented with his sword and shield.
Yeah.
You see him here, like being comforted by the angel.
Yeah.
He's gaining various military skills, and then over there he's being crowned the unifier.
Yeah.
So the whole bridge itself is a work of art called the life of the soldier. So
Not a good life.
yeah, so that's what these 8 statues are in praise of the soldier.
Yeah, he didn't live to be old.
Well, the soldier was really seen as very important. The military was very important to Prussia. You know, it was something that
Something to be proud of, huh?
yeah, it brought them unity, it brought them power, it brought them economic power. You know, it brought them money into the city to build, you know, nice cities. And
Probably would have never walked this much if I did it myself.
well,
Just being honest. Yeah.
are you getting pretty tired? Or?
Almost, yeah. Just kind of.
So we could, you want to just, because we can head back through this way, and we would head back to your hotel.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
And then I could, we could also look at. Let's look a little bit here. And then,
Yeah, a little bit. I'm a poor student, huh?
Oh, you're doing well. You're doing great.
Yeah. I'll be one of the slackers in your class, you know. Definitely. The one sitting in the back, you know. With a slingshot, you know. I'm
How
that.
would you become a computer programmer if you were not a very good student? Because computer.
Well, I don't know. My brother said that's where the jobs are, so I just followed my brother's advice, you know.
Here's let me see.
Yeah. Just want to get accredited and get a job, you know. It's a paycheck to me. Yeah.
There's a picture of Hitler
Holy crap! Yeah.
on the steps there.
All the uniforms. Yeah.
Yeah, this was 1936.
Holy shit! Yeah. Imagine one nuke in the middle.
Yeah.
That's all it would take. Just nuke it there. It would be gone. There's no World War II. Yeah.
Yep. But the palace is actually a rebuilt version. Here's the original palace.
Oh yeah.
And they tore that down and they built this.
A mall.
Yeah, so this used to be right over there. And then they tore this down in 2008.
Uh-huh.
And then between 2010 and 2020, they built the old palace back.
Oh, restored it, yeah.
They restored the old palace, so that's actually new. In fact, like all the buildings over here are restored.
It's all about tourist revenue.
Yeah. But the Berliner Dome, that was 1890 to 1905.
This
that
one,
was
yeah.
built, and it took the place of what was called the Supreme Parish Church,
Yes.
and that was a much older, much more modest building.
So what would have I missed if we did the entire 330? What did I miss? Just
Well,
wondering.
we would walk down into Alexanderplatz, and then we'd come back through this way, and I'd take you over to like the Nikolai Kirche, and I'd take you back, and then we go that way. So
You know, you could be a fitness instructor.
if we were gonna keep going, I would take you all the way out there.
No.
Well, how about
I'm
this?
kaput now, yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's walk this way then, and
Yeah.
We'll head back towards.
Okay. Plus, I need time to upload all this.
Okay.
Couple of hours, you know. Will take me a long time to upload it.
Yeah.
And then relax in the hotel somewhat. Yeah. You actually explained Germany in the Cliff Notes manner. You know?
Well, yeah. That's
I always get the Cliff Notes, you know.
Well, really, you can see the rise of Berlin just goes right along with the rise of Germany.
Right.
And but it really doesn't start to, the early history is really confusing because in Germany, when they start the Holy Roman Empire, when the Margraves are given their domains,
Right.
they don't just pass it down to like their oldest son. I guess we can.
What, cross illegally or?
Well, I guess we go down to the crosswalk,
Yeah, okay.
or we can go back up here.
I see the Berlin TV tower. Maybe
Yeah.
explain that a little bit then.
So that was 1969. That was built, it's the third tallest structure in Europe. It was used for two different television stations.
Okay.
Do you know who started the first public television station?
Nope.
The Nazis.
What?
Yeah. The Nazis had the first.
Propaganda, yeah.
Yeah, the first public television station. So they were, early on they had built the tower in the west, and so when they when the city was divided, this in the east they had no tower. They had no broadcast tower. Here, let's go here. We'll go.
In every movie that shows Berlin, they always show this tower. Oh yeah, that's an oldie, yeah.
But do you see how the reflection on the ball forms a white cross? Do you see that white cross up there?
Yeah.
In the DDR, they were busy like tearing down churches, removing crosses.
East Germany, yeah.
East Germany. They wanted you more focused on socialism. So when this appears, that was a bit of a embarrassment to them because there's this big cross, and the Germans call that the revenge of the Pope.
Yeah. It's funny, the name DDR, it's quite the opposite.
Yeah.
So democratic, and yet a lot of people want to escape. Huh?
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go. They get
That
caught,
was
they
the
got
old
shot.
town there. You can see that church. But nothing exists from the old town except for
Right.
the Rotes Rathaus and then the Marienkirche just right there.
Right. Seems like I'm the only one with the carabiner tied to the phone. Because of what happened to me. What happened to me in Paris, I said, I don't want to lose this. It's my wallet, it's a wallet and phone, Got everything, man. Got my driver's license here. Gonna lose a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so that over there is where the old town of Berlin began.
Yeah, that's this side. Yeah.
That church there goes back to the 1400s.
Oh, this small. Yeah.
And
And what's this thing here? Entrance.
it's like an archway or a replica. I'm not sure if it's the real thing, but it's from like an Indian temple.
Yeah, that's why it seems like out of place, you know.
Yeah, it's from an Indian temple.
Yeah. Could have just made up something, I would believe it, you know. And this building is?
So this was the palace, but this is now the Humboldt Forum.
Oh, okay.
So this is the old Prussian palace, which is now the new Prussian palace.
Should brush up on my history. Don't even know Prussia and Germany.
So Prussia was, that was kind of the leading German state. German Empire.
That's where they had that pointy hat, you know.
Right, yeah, with the
What's it called? Yeah. And then they became a Stahlhelm,
Yeah.
which now the Americans copied. The modern American helmet is kind of like a Stahlhelm. Same shape, yeah.
Yeah, same exact shape. A little bit of a flare on the back.
It's functional, you know. Why not? Oh, this is nice and cool in here.
Yeah, it's not too much sun.
Yeah, the enclosure, you know, helps. Yeah, that's why you remove your jacket. Getting warmer, you know. I made the right choice here. I was cold before, so it's not anymore. Now I'm perspiring. It's good to layer. That's what they said. Don't cover up with something thick, you know, layer. You can always remove it.
Right.
Yeah. So we're leaving it now.
Yeah, we're gonna leave here. We're gonna head back towards.
Yeah, close. Yeah.
Go back towards the Hilton.
Yeah. And that's just a block from my hostel. That's why we're separated.
But this is on the other side. If you look to the left,
Yeah.
you can see.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You can just barely see the two little spires sticking up behind the building there, way up high there.
Yeah, I kind of see it. Yeah.
That's the Nikolai Kirche, and that is the oldest church, and that goes back to 1237.
Yeah, it's really tall. Yeah.
And then on the other side, right here in front of us, would have been an old village. Was here.
Yeah.
This was called the town of Cologne,
Cool.
and also you had the Petrikirche on this side. So essentially, Berlin starts as a place to cross the river.
Oh yeah.
And it is, we can go, let's head this way.
Let's head this way. Yeah. It's a shorter way here.
So you can see this,
You're not lost at all, huh?
what's that?
You're not lost.
No, I'm not lost.
Yeah.
I know where we are.
Yeah.
But this here is the only part of the original palace that they preserved. There's this little part of the balcony here on the left.
Okay.
And they preserved that because that's where Karl Liebknecht declared the socialist country of Germany.
Right.
And so it has a socialist connotation to it.
It's funny whenever somebody declares something. I declare with a mustache, you know. And let's burn books, you know. That's a rally here.
Yeah, so there's another Friedrich Schinkel,
Yeah.
the tower over here.
Yeah, the bicycle locks are really thick. Seems like people steal bicycles here.
Yeah.
They're heavy duty locks, yeah.
That can definitely be a problem.
Amsterdam too. Even the locks are heavier than the bicycle. It's that, huh?
Sometimes careful.
Yeah, it's just, it's funny. It's a medical transport, and I was almost became a victim too. They were gonna transport me anyway, so. So here's 112, not 911. You dial 112.
Yeah, 112.
Weird. Different digits for emergency.
See all those see those holes on that thing?
Yeah.
That's from the war.
What?
See how that column? See all
Yeah,
those?
yeah.
Yeah, that's from the war.
They preserved it, huh?
Yeah, you can still catch traces of it.
Yeah. After so many years, huh?
Yeah, well, like what? Almost 80 years.
Yeah, it's almost a century.
Almost a century.
Almost. Assuming we live that long. Probably not.
So it'll be 100 years in 2045.
Assuming you're still alive.
I don't think I'll be still alive. But
No. Statistically, no.
I'm 54.
But you never know. Hey, you could be, once you reach 100, you'll be in a UFO, you know? Levitating somewhere. Hey, what happened to those flying cars prediction of Y2K, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
Flying cars, no, never. Even EV cars are a challenge here.
There's another building that was built
Oh, yeah, here.
during the Nazi years.
Schleusenbruck.
You can see the Schleusenbruck. The Schleusen is a lock.
Oh, yes, I see it.
Yeah.
There's a lock. Oh, it's an e-bike. I thought he was pedaling. It's actually an electric motor there. That'd be a hard job pedaling there. In Asia, it's pedaling. Yeah.
So now we're walking into the old. This is called the Friedrichswerder.
Yesterday, because of the marathon, there were no buses. Now they're moving now.
Okay. This on the right, that's the Friedrichswerder Kirche.
Ah.
And that's Carl Friedrich Schinkel. His Bow Academy used to stand right here. And that's
Okay.
that was a very famous architectural building, and they are supposed to rebuild it here.
There's nothing, yeah.
Now it got destroyed in the war.
Except,
I guess maybe that one wall.
yeah, they preserved it. But, who's gonna remember it, huh? After 100 years, all of this nobody will remember. Yeah? Unless you keep repeating it in class, you know. And people just, I don't care. That happened a long time ago. Then all of a sudden, some messiah rises up. Follow me! With a different mustache this time. Funnier looking mustache.
Yeah.
There's always some kind of... I mean, people follow them because if things go bad economically, that's when it happens. That's the condition, ripe condition to start some stupid thing in a movement.
Yeah.
It's not so easy now after the nuclear age.
Oh yeah.
If Hitler lived during this time, I don't think it would have been easy because he's faced with nukes now.
Yeah.
He can't invade any country that has nukes, you know. They'll just nuke him, you know.
Right.
Simple.
Well, here's John F. Kennedy.
Launch a missile, nuke an entire country. Oh, there's JFK. He's the only Democrat I believe in. The rest are all corrupt. JFK was a good guy.
So you can see this. This is where
Yeah.
so we kind of walked into here. We walked around there, and now we came back over, and we're in what's called the Friedrichswerder.
Ah,
And the Friedrichswerder. So you notice now the The fortifications are long gone, but just the roads
Yeah.
are a little bit are just a little bit funky there.
Wish my phone would show it there.
But
Anyway.
yeah, let's head this. Oh wait, what do we have here? Hold on.
Oh, whoa.
What's this? This is the Reichsbank, 1936. Yeah, so that's this building right here behind us. That's that Nazi style architecture.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's that there. Yeah, oh yeah, I see that.
Very depressing, yeah.
So who's this? Main quarters of the Reichsbank, Hitler, and shot. Okay. Oh, the old Reichsbank. Okay, yeah. Gives you a little bit of an idea. So they took this all out.
Mm-hmm.
They built this new one there.
So you still miss being a teacher?
Oh, yeah, sometimes I do.
Yeah, it's a steady job, you know.
Steady job. I mean,
Boring, yeah?
I got pretty lucky though with
Yeah.
buying some real estate.
Oh, good, yeah. That's what my dad was into. Real estate. When he
Yeah.
was alive, yeah.
Yeah, so we have a piece of property that we
Yeah. So, but my parents are gone, yeah. Jägerstraße. What's Jäger?
Jaeger's a hunter.
Hunter Street, huh? Because they have a Jag Hunter, you know, the name of tank. Jag something, Jag Tiger.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, those are the tank killers
Yep.
with thin armor and large cannon.
Yeah,
Jag,
Jaeg.
yeah. They put Jag in front of it. Yeah.
Yeah, the Jaeg. What is it, Jägerstürmer or something?
Yeah, they're not supposed to fight another tank. They're supposed to hide and shoot the tank,
Yeah.
assuming they're well hidden. Because they're bigger cannons, yeah. But then the airplanes dominate because how can you beat an airplane that's flying?
Right.
You have a heavy tank that goes very slow.
Right.
Who's gonna win? I don't care how heavy or how thick your armor is. A simple bomb can demolish that tank.
Yeah.
And Hitler was so obsessed with tanks. He even was trying to build this monster tank. Can hardly move, you know, because it was so big.
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
the railway gun too.
something. Yeah, he was obsessed with big, you know. Big.
Gustav Gun or something.
I guess he was compensating for something. That's just joking. It's like people who drive sports cars, you know. They're compensating for something. Before it was like hybrid cars. And then there's drive proudly, I'm driving a hybrid. Now it's electric cars. People kind of like brag about it. Oh, hold on, someone's shooting something, yeah. Probably another YouTuber. This is more professional. Showing the car, BMW. Even has a light shield. The new BMW. Sounds like a gas engine. It's not electric. Got an exhaust. So nobody wants to know. Only if it's electric we want to know.
We can go this way.
Same old shit. Yeah. They even have a shield for the lights. See, they're more professional crew. I saw that when they were shooting Spider-Man. They had a white canvas and to shield from the sun, you know.
Also to bounce light.
Oh, was that it? A bounce
Yeah.
light there? Oh, nice.
That's a nice car, huh?
Yeah, but uncomfortable.
I mean,
Try sitting in one for hours. Your back would hurt, yeah. It's only nice on the outside. Not comfortable at all.
So you see this? This is where one of those ramparts was.
Yeah.
And then,
Another U-Bahn station.
yeah.
On the subway or metro.
But here's here we can go across the street for a minute.
Oh, there's the smart. Is that smart car? Yeah. I don't know. Not so smart design.
Which side?
This one, this tiny car here. Oh,
So here's
oh, here another history here.
this kind of
Hausbau Teilplatz.
Hauswohlteilplatz. This was the garment district. This was where a lot of fashion stuff was from. As you can see, that again, this was the fortifications.
Yeah.
So now we have our little fountain.
Fountain here.
But coming to the point here.
Yeah, they leave the scooter everywhere.
Now, the Great Elector was faced with having to rebuild Berlin, and he hired a Dutch master builder. His name is Von Reddick.
Uh-huh.
So, like for example, here you can see a little bit of Dutch influence
Ah,
on the side there. And
looks
also,
like Amsterdam here.
yeah, and also on the other side there's like a little Amsterdamian kind of.
Mm,
But he's, but the.
they're good engineers, huh?
Well, yeah, but they also were very good in controlling water, controlling high
Right,
water tables, building canal.
Yeah.
So all of these things that they
Based on their experience, yeah.
yeah, and they were brought here. So if you go to Potsdam, there's a part of Potsdam that they call the Dutch Quarter, and it looks a little like Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So it's and that's because a lot of the Dutch were like the master builders at that time, and they were bringing them here to help build the city
Right.
and to help build up the area.
Then later on, Turks.
Later on, the Turks came. Yeah,
Yeah. Turkish community here in Berlin.
yeah. There's a big Turkish community.
Hence the Döner, yeah.
Döner
Döner,
kebabs.
yeah. All the Döner places. Oh, dear.
And so, following the 30 Years' War,
Yeah.
the Great Elector issues the Edict of Potsdam.
Right.
And the Edict of Potsdam invites religious minorities to come and settle in Berlin. And one of the groups that takes him up on his offer is the French Huguenots.
Okay.
And so where we're heading to next is called the Gendarmenmarkt.
That's French, yeah.
Yeah, it's French for a word for soldier, and that goes back to a French corsair unit that was granted or was given a marketplace to build some stables, and also those French soldiers will help to train the soldiers of the Prussian army, and throughout the years of Friedrich the Great, he will commission the design of two churches that look very much the same, and those are the churches we're just about to see. Because you have a French cathedral, and then the other side you have the German cathedral.
So someone eating quiche. Is quiche, what kind of word is quiche? What origin? It's French or
It's French, yeah.
yeah, quiche. Yeah.
Quiche.
It's like a pie of sorts. Pie omelette. Yeah.
Egg pie.
I see the hop on off of bus again. Goes all over. Tomorrow, that's another.
Yeah, so there's our French church.
Tomorrow's my last day, so I'm finishing with the hop on off off.
But this Let's see here. So here's a picture of,
Oh, when it's burning, what year was that?
I think 1944, May 23rd.
Oh yeah, bombing, yeah.
Yeah, after the war, it was more or less left as a ruins. This is a picture from following the war. You can see the domes are
gone, yeah.
Churches have been damaged, but the original church is the one to the left. That's the French church.
Was it the Soviets or the Americans bombing it? Yeah.
Oh, both.
Okay.
But the Americans definitely had some of the bigger bombing raids on the city at the end of the war.
Yeah.
Trying to help the Soviets by
To end it, yeah.
softening up the city.
Yeah.
But the theater was completed in 1824.
Right.
And that was also by Karl Friedrich Schinkel. But yeah, now we have, that is a museum to the French Huguenots. And this is a museum to early German history.
Okay.
And both of which are temporarily closed, as the gendarme mark is also temporarily
So an artist drawing it, yeah.
You can see what they're doing there.
Yeah. So construction, yeah. Are we almost at the Hilton?
Yeah, we're almost there.
I can feel it, yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize I was gonna perspire here, you know.
Yeah, so it was originally it was just the Friedrichstadt marketplace, and then the name Gendarmenmarkt became popular after that French military unit arrives. So around 1720 or so is when the name Gendarmenmarkt begins to be applied for there, and it's just stayed ever since. So
Yeah, I'm not to be interested in French, to be honest.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we can head this way.
Okay, let's go, yeah. Oh, so Berlin is becoming more ethnically mixed.
Yeah,
I see,
it's a big mix of people.
There's a lot of races here.
It's a big mix of people.
Yeah. Some Vietnamese, some Thai.
Yeah.
Different, yeah.
Lots of Turkish.
Yeah, predominantly. There's a doner everywhere.
Yeah.
You turn. And what's that bear? I always see a bear.
So that's the symbol of the city. That's the bear.
Oh, the bear is Berlin, huh?
Yeah. So that's
Okay.
that's the symbol of the city. And
Okay.
this one is for Taiwan. But they had a whole exhibition of these bears.
Bears.
About 100.
Oh, you were explaining the name Berlin, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'll play later. Yeah.
There's the Hilton.
Oh, great! Excellent, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm glad I had the exercise. Was that 10,000 steps or no? Maybe less.
Let's see.
Are you counting it? I'm just curious, you know.
I can tell you.
I feel it's a lot. Holy crap! That's how much?
17,000.
No way! I've never done 10,000 in my life. That's 17,000. And I didn't feel a thing, you know. I feel great, you know.
Yeah.
I just need a drill sergeant instructing me. Well, he's explaining history. One of my boring subjects.
Well, yeah, you did